Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second season of Second Sons. As always, I am Roy Rogers, and I hope you can actually hear me. Sid, you're supposed to be looking at the chat.
I am.
Can you hear me?
Aaron has just prompted the chat. I don't know if anyone can hear us yet. I'm waiting, though. I'm watching vigilantly.
Oops.
Can you hear us out there?
Button. As you can already see, there's already technical issues. The second season, we are doing this buzz-free for at least
They can hear us. We're good. Sorry to interrupt,
so
but
we are flying
good to go.
without a net, ladies and gentlemen. You have a poorly trained humanist.
Wait, flying without a net?
Without a net.
Like, would a net help you fly?
A net would help you. Stop criticizing my mixed metaphors, Aaron.
Trapezing.
Right.
Trapezing without.
All right. So, as always, again, I'm Roy Rogers.
Hey, we gotta mute the music. There's
we gotta
music.
mute the music.
Who's playing music?
Roy's
music.
playing his background music.
Boy, what?
Oh, there we go. Okay, so we'll start that all over again. Does that
No,
work?
no.
That'll get edited out.
They heard us.
Wait, this is live.
Oh, okay. Well, I will start it over again anyway. So, as always, I'm Roy Rogers of the White Book, sometimes formerly of the New York City Meta, currently of my apartment Meta. With me today is Aaron, who I'm not going to give time to actually talk about himself. Sid, how are you doing, Sid?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy that the band's all back together. Really excited.
Except for Show and Thaw.
Except for Sean, you're right. Not the whole band, but part of the band. This is like the reunion tour when all the members couldn't make it. Like Schoenthal is in rehab right now, getting clean. He's gonna show up midway through the tour, and it's all gonna be great.
Schoenthal was just added late.
He's at like rehab. Comic-Con is kind of rehab, right? Of a certain kind. So, and to fill in, because we're kind of like 2-3 champs and a chump normally. We have a real champion on today. In fact, of a real tournament. A world championship, you might even say. So with us today is
the real
Ryan
champ
Jones.
card.
How you doing, Ryan?
A real champ card.
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, we're really glad to have you on. So
Suddenly he's all polite.
A couple of quick things.
You didn't say anything, Glazer. That's why I'm not angry.
We'll get there.
A couple of quick housekeeping things. This is the Second Sons. We do exist. And as you can tell from the poor production values, Buzz will not be in every episode, so I, Roy Rogers, am running the production side of things, which means it's going to be a lot shittier. This is a huge improvement over what I could do before, so you should all give me a applause for that. But we're not good with as good without Buzz. When Buzz is able to join us, we're going to have awesome production values. But when he's not off being young, handsome, and Swedish, we will be stuck with me. So
it's like he went and got a life. It's so
I
disappointing.
know.
Did he?
Yeah, life sucks. Yes, there we go. That's the best club in the world.
Charter member.
The second thing is, we're starting this week. Our goal is to go bi-weekly. So the next week we will have an episode will be the first week in August. So sometime between the 31st of July and the 5th of August, we will be recording another episode. Which means we should get 2 more episodes in before Gen Con, which will be really great. So the goal here is to go bi-weekly every 2 weeks for the rest of, I don't know, until we all get busy. I don't know, I move, Alec gets a fancy new job somewhere and I'm going to move. I don't know. Whatever happens, but the goal is to be bi-weekly. Third, today's episode is brought to you by Dock Street Brew Pub here in
There's a sponsor?
There is a sponsor. No, there's not.
It's
That's
beer.
just what I'm drinking at the moment.
Where's my free swag?
All right. So, guys, any other comments before we really get to the show in earnest?
Let's do it.
All right. So, the real reason that we're all really here is because something really cool got announced on Friday. Ryan, what was that?
I think you're talking about my champ card, my first champ card.
Yeah.
The Iron Bank will have its due.
Which I am going to try and put up, which I totally set it up to do that. There's Ryan's card. Boom! Ryan's card. All right. Can people see Ryan's card? It should be right next to Glazer right there on the screen. So,
yes,
Ryan, why don't
there.
the first thing, before we sort of move into talking about how awesome this card is, why don't you tell us a little bit about the genesis of it? The real truth. Not that, FFG boilerplate, be cute and funny thing. Tell us the honest truth. What's the origin of this card?
I laid it all out on that FFG article, and to Evan's credit, he didn't cut anything out. he edited for readability, but none of the content got cut. I was surprised. I was a little sassy in my playtesting recounting.
Those playtesters, man, assholes.
Yeah, I didn't name any names, Aaron, but a lot of them are big asshats. So
I can't stand them. They're the worst people I know.
Yeah, they're bad people.
No one likes any of the playtesters. It's a severe problem. It's why the game works so poorly.
It's true. They're awful people. They're awful human beings and awful playtesters. That's why
they don't want the game to be good. They don't want it to be good.
No, they don't. Go ahead, Brian. Sorry.
One thing that I've thought about since that article was written that I wish I'd also mentioned there is that I kind of regret designing it in the core set meta for the core set meta. That's obviously not when it would be coming out. So my biggest problem with the core set was there was no surprise since events cost gold now. And I was like, oh, well, this sucks. I need some surprise in my life. I don't want you to feel safe when I attack for a 5-strength military challenge just because I have no gold. So that was kind of short-sighted. That was the genesis of this card was how can we have a surprise on-demand gold to fuel cool challenge effects. I still think it has a place. I feel like I kind of lucked into how the card ended up. It could have been a lot more focused and then missed its mark, but since it's kind of a general card, I think there are a lot of different ways to use it, which means as the meta shifts, its purpose may shift. Like I think right now, it has a clear spot index as a negative terminal attachment answer, but those might go away, and there might be something different that the card needs to address, and hopefully it can adapt with that. So that's the genesis. Core set, no surprises, trying to inject a little bit more surprise into the game.
I mean, it's a fantastic card. Like Nightmares, every deck has to look at least one or two.
That's an opinion, yeah.
I mean, it's the right opinion. But you know who it works best with, just because you're a bad decision maker? Lannister.
Yes.
I almost made it a Lannister card. It was almost not neutral. I think originally it was a Lannister card, so that certainly was part of its design.
It's so good in Lannister.
So good. It makes jumper stuff so much more fun. You can add in so much more ambush just with the ability for that on-demand gold. I love it. I think it's the best card we've seen in a long time from a champ. The first one I've been really excited about.
Have we seen any? Is this the first original champ card for second edition?
I think so, right?
That's probably why I'm the most excited for it.
No, technically in this pack we got two, right? We got Brian's as well in this pack, right? Or was that the pack?
Wait, what's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, we
Archer
just got Brian's, right?
All right. Yeah, this is way more exciting.
This is better
I like
than
that
Brian's.
card. It's a good card, but this is more exciting.
Yeah, this is a splashier effect. So
Brian's makes me sad that it's not Tollgate from first edition.
Oh,
2-cost non-unique Lannister location.
I remember that.
Kneel it to bounce out any non-unique.
2 cost, right? Or was it?
Yeah.
Two.
It was 2.
Yeah.
And it itself was non-unique, so you could just have 3.
Oh, and there's also
awful locations.
Alvaro's card, right? Reigns.
Oh, yeah.
Reigns was new.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's right, Alvaro's. For some reason, I feel like that was a first edition card, even though it was not at all designed like a first edition champ card.
No.
It was definitely designed with the second edition in mind.
So
Alvaro's card and my card are from the same tournament or the same weekend.
yeah.
So I'm lagging a little bit on.
And it's nice because they go really well together.
I disagree with that. They both have a faction nail.
Oh
Faction
yeah,
nil.
I guess that is a problem. I keep forgetting that the faction nil is on your card.
It shouldn't have a faction nail.
It really
It
shouldn't. have a
shouldn't. Whose idea was that?
It was actually your fault, Lucas.
It was my fault?
faction. Yeah,
Because of
it
jumpers.
really was.
Landing
Because of
jumpers were
jumpers,
hot
right?
in the current meta when we were designing it, or the second pass on trying to get it through, and I was like, landing jumpers aren't going to be a thing by the time this comes out. So you thank Lucas for the faction nail.
What?
You couldn't have waited a couple months, right?
Yeah, come on, Luke.
Yeah, and this
Sorry.
whole not in the taxation phase, it would be an amazing card if you could do it in the taxation phase.
Yeah, no, that's
I
just
should be able
wrong.
to have my 90 gold going into my Valor, right?
But even without the taxation phase thing, all those ambush cards that people sometimes play a little here and there are now much more viable. And I think we're going to see a lot of cool ambush cards being played, finally, because they don't get played that much.
I mean,
I love ambush. Ambush is my favorite, going back to first edition. So If that happens, Luke, I'll be ecstatic.
I'll make it happen, buddy.
Some more surprise. You'll make it happen. All right.
That's right.
Someone just needs to make a card that stands your faction.
I mean,
Card.
hey, just a reminder, you have 2 more champ cards. Go for it.
It's true. That's true, Ryan. You're the only. Are you the only champ at this point? Because you haven't designed any cards before. Who, if this fucks up the meta, you can design an answer.
No.
Answer to your own
card.
Jakob.
Oh, that's true. Jakob
has 2.
There's 2 that he hasn't released. Yeah.
Right. I do have the opportunity to fix my mistakes. I do have 2 left.
I think Kid just had the 1, right?
Well, it's Corey.
Jakob has 2.
Corey still has 1 floating around, right? Because of the
Does he?
infamous melee.
Corey won the melee.
It's so impossible
Right.
to say infamous melee and Corey. It's like, which of the 3?
He was only directly involved in 1. Come on. So.
If you don't count
Like Ryan's
puppeteering,
crush
Two.
there.
you don't count puppeteering as directly involved. I feel like that's pretty direct.
When you're puppeteering, you're not directly
like saying-
involved.
It's like saying Jim Henson wasn't directly involved with the Muppets.
He wasn't.
It's like
Kermit the Frog. That's all. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Both melees that Corey won, he was directly involved in those melees.
Jones, when you won the tournament to get this design, tell us a little bit about that, because I had an anonymous poster ask me to ask you if there was anyone along the path to earning this card that kind of got the better of you on the day. I wanted to know if there was anyone who kind of tripped you up on your way to getting this card design.
I collected 74 power that day.
74, not the 75
out of
required to go
75
undefeated.
power.
Interesting.
Yes. Sometimes I remember it differently, but I did lose my second round of Swiss, getting second place with 14 power to my metamate James Speck.
That's who it was. I wasn't sure.
I played 1 game of Melee before the tournament that year, and it was the night before with James Speck. He knew my plot deck. He knew I couldn't win initiative, and he beat my initiative by like 1 or 2, and I was just like, this guy. He's a tough nut to crack. So I don't expect to win against him every time, but everyone else bent the knee except James Speck.
So you beat me that year.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm 1-0 against Blazer.
A really, really long game too. I'm pretty sure it went like 8-9 plots.
Yeah, I was actually just reading my tournament report from that year to try and remember what the hell happened. And I actually said you were a nice person in that post, Glazer, which, I mean, first impressions aren't everything, right? Like,
yeah, really. Dude, we know your gut sucks.
Okay, so where do we think this card slides in right now? Like in the current meta, when this pack comes, we don't know exactly what's in. What's the title of this pack?
Oh.
Oberyn's Revenge.
Oberyn's Revenge. So we only know like a couple of cards out of that. I think just the Martell cards in this one, right?
Oh no, it's like 7 cards.
Oh, we do now. Oh yeah, because we got.
We know the Barra cards. We know 1 Lanny card and the Martell cards and the other neutral. Wheels Within Wheels.
Oh yeah, that's spoiled.
Wait, what's Wheels Within Wheels? Because I have really bad flashbacks to first edition.
Plot.
It's not. It's not
the first edition.
Okay.
It's like building orders and summons, but for events. Search the top 10 cards.
You discard the ones that you don't want.
Event,
right?
Yeah, discard the others. So it kind of like pairs with Annals, I guess, a little bit.
Oh, we also got Annals and Johns. We got 2 more original champ cards.
That's
Annals
true.
and Duel.
Yeah, we're not even like, we're horrible.
Close.
So bad. But the podcast is gone, so
I mean, and both
So
of them.
are
Aren't
there
they, didn't they erase themselves anyway from? I don't know. The end of that Beyond the Wall episode was very confusing. Didn't they erase themselves from history or something?
something like that.
From the Annals.
Yeah,
Scored themselves from
Castle
Annals.
Black.
So yeah, it's not like the old Wheels Within Wheels, which I hope we get back. But yeah, we know 7 cards from Ryan. I'll call it Ryan Jones's pack.
I wouldn't call it that. That may be a spoiler that I'm not supposed to say, but we can just call it Oberyn's Revenge for now, and then we can decide what to call it.
Oberyn's Revenge pack. Because
I hope I don't get
pack after, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's still a chance that I get overshadowed, though. How about that?
There really isn't. Your card is better. Like, I think this is the second best original champ card in second edition. Maybe the best, but like at worst, second best. Reigns is really fucking good.
Yeah.
Reigns is killing it.
Yeah, well, without the faction, they would be amazing together, and this would be better. But since this
I
doesn't go,
messaged Alvaro the other day and was like, he saw the article, and I said, I fought so hard to make our cards work together, but the faction was required. I fought for that one a while.
Mm-hmm. At zero cost, it kind of. I mean, if you had made the cost something like a 1 or 2,
the cost, you have to return a whole character to your hand.
I know, but I'm just saying to get rid of that faction deal. I want to play it in jumpers, and never bet against my family doesn't work either with it. It really makes me sad.
I know. Or
and Shadow Black Lane too.
Shadow Black.
It is.
Yeah, it may not go in jumpers, honestly. Like
no, it goes.
It will.
Not that
it still works with Hear Me Roar, and it works with Harrenhal.
Yeah, it does.
Harrenhal's the big one, I think.
Really well with Harrenhal.
There are jumpers that don't run BAMF, right? Is that a thing or not?
For sure. Yeah, there are.
Yeah. I mean, they might be running BAMF more with another card we're going to be getting to in a minute.
That's fair.
But also, wait, whatchamacallit, it's amazing with just the Klansmen, too. Don't forget that the Klansmen are a thing.
You can jump so many Klansmen now, and that's really where Jumpers has gone. Like, Jumpers doesn't look like it did
it's not the
12 months ago. It's new. It's Klansmen. It's interesting locations to support it. The old days of just 6 events to make the jumping happen, you don't even need Never Bet. So this will be fine.
One of the Klansmen has a faction deal too, though. So
that's true.
So wait. If this gets Hand's Judgment,
really good with Kevin Lannister.
Wait, hang on. If this gets Hand's Judgment, do you still return the character to hand?
Correct.
Yeah,
yes.
it's the cost.
That's really good.
That can't be canceled, right?
Yeah.
I was pretty hot on keeping that as the cost.
Oh
yeah,
this card would be terrible if it didn't let you do that at least. So
that would suck.
I mean, the real use for this beyond everything else is Valor Protection when you really need it.
Yeah, not getting the gold to play him is tough, but
which
it's
Valor
nice before
Protection?
Ooh, we'll get there. Oh,
okay.
Wait, what? What was that?
What?
So the other thing I like about this is, but it does relate to what Sid wants to talk about, is it makes you use big characters in an interesting way, right? Because you can use them for both their flashy effects, but then also as a source of economy to do other flashy, interesting things, and it pairs well with resets like the upcoming Valor Dohaeris and and things like that. So
the mayor,
the pale mare, it's and this will be a fun card in draft when we get another draft pod that has.
Oh, that would be fun if they put it in there.
I would love to be in a draft pod.
Well, you are a draft champion, right? Shouldn't it be like?
Yeah.
My third card, I kind of want to make it a draft only, like a broken draft only
don't
card.
do that.
Just make it Ryan, just make it a card that can work and constructed, but is a really good draft card.
Yeah, just make them make sure they put it in the draft cycles. Don't make it draft only, please.
No.
No.
I mean, you can
What I hope my second card fits that bill.
Okay.
Want to spoil, or at least give a little hint? Like a faction, a card type. Come on.
Okay. Is it related to banking?
I've gone off the banking theme.
Okay. Just one Iron Bank.
All right. Wait. Okay.
Oh wait.
Can you give us this spoiler?
It's just.
Which book does it draw inspiration from?
He has no idea.
Or how about this? Is it also
them?
neutral? Are we going to see or are you focusing on the house?
That's too far.
Dang.
See, I tried to get an interesting but vague spoiler out of you, but it didn't work.
He doesn't know the books well enough.
Cards. So let's talk about the bank being neutral. I had no idea where it was going to find a home, where that effect was actually going to be meaningful. So I just copped out and said neutral.
Nice.
So why the Iron Bank though? Really, just because?
Because they.
I didn't design it with a theme. The name and the theme was last.
Okay.
Yeah. But they take back their support, right?
Yeah, I basically asked my group. I said, "What fits this? A character goes away from the battlefield for a while, gets a bunch of money, and then later shows back up on the battlefield." And the first response was Iron Bank, and I was like, "Oh yeah, duh." You go to Bravos to try and collect some money, and then you go back with all your money. But it eventually goes away in taxation. Boom.
I like it. I do the same thing with my students. They're always asking me, what do I title this? And I tell them, don't fucking worry about it. Just write something great and then figure out a title later if it even needs a title, right? Who cares what the title is? You need a great effect. And then from there, you come up with something good. I think it's best to work backwards. You don't want to... Because then you've hemmed yourself into a play space when you're like, it's got to fit this theme. No, you make a great card. The theme comes later. I love it. I think it's the way to do it. I think it's the new template for all cards going forward.
That said, I did the opposite for my second card.
There we go. There's the spoiler.
It's based on theme.
The design process behind Ryan's second card is the opposite.
You're welcome. You guys are welcome.
I
got it out.
Theme first.
Theme first, card mechanic second. Okay.
So what he's saying is his second card not as good.
I think that's probably true.
Damn it.
Tormund Giant's Bane. That's his card. That's his card right there with the beard.
Oh my god, it should be. If it's not, that's your third.
All right. Anything else?
Do they?
Oh, go ahead.
Don't they not let you make
They don't.
They don't let you be main characters.
Yeah.
I think you can.
But what if you naturally look exactly like the main character? Like
just Ryan. A little bit, yeah.
Like
it could be someone that Tormund
Jonathan
is like
Benton does
brutalizing.
Kind of look like the new Corrin Halfhand. Like he does. Like they're not
that
far apart.
That happened so long ago.
Anything else that we want to say about Ryan's card? Like I was trying to get you to talk about. So where, if you were going to a tournament the day that this pack is legal and you wanted to play Ryan's card, so Ryan, what deck would you put this card if you were going to the tournament, the first tournament you're going to that this was legal, in the current meta, like not Worlds or Stalock or whatever you're doing.
Yeah,
future, but like
I've been. It's really boring, but I've been playing a ton of Lanny Crossing. So, and I struggle with negative attachments. That's my biggest problem right now. No. So I dropped the Raiders, I dropped the Rattleshirts Raiders, and I would put in 2 or 3 banks.
Yeah, this card is really good at fucking up that deck that won Nationals.
Yeah, very much so. Marriage Pack especially, because they have to sacrifice another guy.
Yeah.
So good.
That is good. Sid, what's the first deck you're going to play this in?
Jumpers. I mean, no question. It's jumpers, but this allows me to play like more Queen's Assassins, a few more like tricky cards, which I really like because you can jump in a 7-coster like Gregor, win a big challenge, send him back to hand, get 7 gold, and have enough to drop in an assassin and a hound like that turn. Oh my god, I'm wet. I'm so ready for it. It's gonna be great. Yeah, jumpers. I mean, jumpers all the way.
Phases.
Yeah, it's a new jumpers. It's a new style. Like it allows jumpers to have more options, which is so great. I'm super excited for this card.
That's not where I want to play it. I want to play it in a Johnny Wright style Martell control deck, where I can just be like, and now I want a Venomous Blade, and now suddenly I'm a red. I don't know what it's called now. Red Vengeancing you when you didn't think I had the gold. Like all that shit, like all that extra control-y shit is amazing.
Martell is a very natural home. I think Martell's gonna do the best with it.
I mean, Barra has the little use of like extra playing a shy, but it doesn't seem totally necessary.
I think there's a chance for Barra to want it as a surprise Dom win. Like if you're playing heavy Dom, most people aren't going to be able to beat you by more than 1 or 2 for dominance. If they set up all their challenges and then they're, I got him by 1 or 2, you can pop that Robert back with milk on him, bounce the milk, and easily win dominance.
I mean,
that's usually a 4 or 5 power swing for them.
Doesn't this just take milk out of the meta? Like, with this in the meta, I feel like cards like Milk and Craven just get so much less good.
I'd be super okay with that if that's what happens.
Craven less so, because at least Craven, possibly for at least 1 turn. I think you can't rely on Craven sticking with this card in the meta, right? But you can still get that 1 turn out of Craven. But Milks, like I think it may...
Well, you can get that 1 turn out of Milk too, right? Like it's the same concept. It's just...
But I think this Craven keeps you out of a challenge. Like it keeps a character out from attacking you. It's stronger in a meta where attachments are weaker than Milk is, at least to me.
Luke, this is also assuming that you didn't go second. Because if they play it and they go first, you just pop your guy back in marshalling, spend all that gold on something else, and you don't miss the challenge phase at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even good at a Barra. It gives you more Relore cards in hand to kneel, but it also, like, all the stuff it gives you back, at the same time it's giving you econ to play more interesting cards during that challenge phase, whether there be events or other characters that ambush or other things. I mean, it gives consistency to the kneel at a Barra and more gold to play some of Barra's more powerful, expensive events. Like, it's just, everything about this card
I mean,
helps so many different factions.
it's
I
gonna
love it.
it's gonna help Terrell too, obviously, right? They like their ambushy shit. Like different Terrell, maybe we won't just get boring ass rush bullshit for a while.
Yeah. If we get the Queen of Thorns style.
Yeah.
That's not a bad combo either.
Yeah,
I mean, it helps
you get
your
that
rush.
Randall or Renly.
You get that extra challenge out of it and everything, yeah. If you run into that, whatever that other stupid card is.
Wait, this doesn't.
Informant?
I mean, wait.
Yeah. The Informant.
I mean, it synergizes with the Informant, yeah.
Yeah.
But not with the Queen of Thorns. Like, you can't put the character back into play.
No, but fine.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, weird stuff. You can, like, Last of the Giants in, Jackin, kill somebody, use this, take Jackin back, get up 7. I mean, there's so many
and then
crazy
put someone
effects
to the
that are on
sword.
oh my god, there's so many insane things that are on the horizon because of this card. I love it.
So many of them, like what you're describing, though, require a fistful of cards.
True.
So I think these decks are going to need a coppers or 2 at the least.
It's good on a copper turn.
All these cool things we're talking about. It's like if you have these 3 cards in hand, like, well, you better have some cards in your hand then.
Yeah, I mean, like reserve value matters, which is actually pretty cool too, though, right? Like, I feel like that low reserve that everyone was running was really holding back control too. It's really hard to run a control deck with 5 cards in hand.
Yeah.
I actually like this in Stark to sort of help smooth out the economy and
because everyone costs 6.
Because everyone costs 6, and well, cards like Summer, like being able to return Summer to your hand to get a character back if you expect a reset.
Summer's good.
If you like Stark, like just like Arya's Gift is fine, but I prefer this actually to Arya's Gift.
This is way better than Arya's Gift.
Yeah.
And the first snow interaction is also really good. Like returning one of those 3-cost characters you have in play, like an Arya, to be able to play like a 6-cost character on the first snow turn is really, really strong. So
yeah.
I think you can find a build for almost every faction. Is there a faction that would not play this?
Yeah, I don't want it in Greyjoy. I just don't see why. Like,
let me think for a second.
Beyond negative attachments, and even then, Greyjoy is probably the best at dealing with that.
Getting back newly made lords is not bad.
Yeah, it's still not
wrong.
It's not great. I know it's not like a great combo, but just like, having more lords to play. Locations are pretty good right now.
Yeah, I guess. Like, that's probably not good enough. To run it in.
It goes in a Banner Kraken.
But it allows you to play that stupid event that no one plays. It gives like all your guys stealth, right? Like just send a newly made lord back, get 4 gold, and give all your guys stealth that turn.
This is a man who thinks Rosewood
kind of cool.
Patrol is one of the strongest cards printed.
It's one of the best cards in the game. I will not. I don't want to have that argument tonight, though. Let's not do it tonight. But Rosewood Patrol.
So I don't think Greyjoy wants it. Night's Watch defense doesn't, but any other type of Night's Watch does.
I'd be happy to have this never be touched by a Night's Watch deck. I absolutely hate that faction.
Leave it alone.
Fair enough. And I mean, Targ could definitely use it, right?
Yeah.
Targ likes being able to be like, I just need that extra couple gold, and like Jorah really synergizes as well.
Jorah's good.
Viserys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a good way to get.
The dragon
right?
Yeah.
It's a good way to get a bunch of extra gold on Astapor.
Yeah. Viserys into Drac. Like returning Viserys to your hand, getting that 1 gold, and then Dracarys someone.
More surprise Drax? I love it.
Never
safe.
Not when you're playing Targaryen. That's what I've learned in this since 2017.
So not Greyjoy, not Night's Watch, everywhere else. At least think about it.
Neutral faction only, definitely.
Which is a thing? We don't have that yet.
No, we
don't. I hope we do someday.
I hope not.
Okay. So I think does that sort of wrap up discussion of Ryan's card? Ryan, this is your card. Are there any final thoughts? People you want to thank? I don't know.
I can't wait until they reprint Westeros Bleeds. This would be amazing with Westeros Bleeds.
They did.
6 cost event. Dominance.
Yeah, it's called Varys.
Just Varys.
Yeah,
I know it's not going to happen because of Varys.
It's a 2-card event. It's called Last of the Giants and Varys.
That's a really cool combo, though. Like, be like, all right, well, I don't really want to Varys away my Bob, so I'm going to have 7 gold. Last of the Giants, Varys. Have a good day. Next turn, I'm going to play Bob. Fuck you.
It's good with that. That becomes a 3-card combo, but is pretty
all
potent.
All the 3-card combos. That's what we've learned today.
All right, so maybe not Westeros Bleeds, but I'm looking forward to a high-impact, very high-gold event or some kind of comes into play character that justifies this even more, where you're like, if I can return Bob and then spend all 7 gold on this crazy effect that's normally unplayable because the cost is so high, if the bank can fuel that, I'm looking forward to that day.
Okay. All right. So that brings us to the other big announcement that FFG made recently, which I am going to put up in a second, which is the 4th cycle, which is called the Crow Cycle? Is that what it's called?
Flight of the Crows?
Did you just say the crab cycle? Because I don't think it's the crab cycle.
I think it's Flight of the Crows.
Flight of the Crows. Flight of the Crows. And we'll just kind of we're not going to mess around here. We are just going to put up, which should be Valor Dohaeris, which is the big card that was announced. There's some other cards there, but this is the card that's kicking off. It's in the first chapter pack of the next cycle, which should be out roughly November-ish, probably, based on the release.
Archmaester's Key, yeah.
So right. I'm going to talk about my design process when I made my fake champ card.
That's cute.
This Ryan, is my fake champ card forever.
Aaron, you were the one who was the most vocal pusher for Pale Mare to leave the draft format and come here to Constructed. So how does it feel to win the debate? Danny heard you.
It's better than I thought it ever could have been. Like the bottom of the deck thing is so much fucking better. Like with those stats, the bottom of the deck thing is so much better than kill with all the like save from kill that exists in the game right now. Mm-hmm. Holy shit. Like this makes the game.
And it has good stats.
Yeah, I mean it's got like amazing stats. Like how many? I don't think so. How many like 3 of uniques can you really run anymore?
You mean dupes? You're talking about?
Like, yeah. How many like how many unique characters are you going to run more than 1 or 2 of?
Well, Aaron tries to convince you this is a good card. I'm going to go get a beer.
Ooh. No, I agree, and I think what Aaron's kind of hinting at is. I don't know if it's a problem, but it's definitely a reality right now in our game, is that you have to dedicate a lot of slots in your deck to dupes, right? You just have to do it.
Well, which inherently
not every single deck
variance.
Right. You have to cut down on the variance. But what it also does is it kind of vanillaizes our decks because we have to play these dupes, right? I would say a good 5 to 7 slots, depending on a deck, are just reserved for dupes. And this says, listen, maybe the dupes are going to hurt you. Maybe you can open up your deck building a little bit and get some more consistency, get some different cards in there. Not everyone's going to play this. You're still going to have to face the original Valor. And can we just call this Pale Mare from now on? Because I don't know how else to differentiate. I can't say the whole name. No, Valor D, Valor M. No, because right away Valor D. No, it's all weird.
Yeah,
it's not like Dohaeris. Can we just call it Dohaeris?
No, you just call it the
Mare. I like Dohaeris.
It's Valor and the Mare. It's Valor and the Mare.
Pale Mare. You still call it Pale Mare because that's what this is. It's fine. And that's how we keep it separate. Like, oh, you flipped Pale Mare on me, you bastard.
Yeah. No, not even the Pale Mare, just the Mare.
This is the Mare? Wait, why not Pale?
Why make it longer? Why? Same reason you don't want it to be Dohaeris. That's too many. That's
Ryan
too
and I will call it Dohaeris, and I can call it Mare.
Dohaeris. You're gonna say the word Dohaeris.
Dohaeris.
I thought it was Dohaeris.
All men must serve, Sid. All men must serve.
I might call it Doh, D-O-H, in honor of my man Homer Simpson, but I will never call it.
No, we just call it Doe. Doe.
Doe.
Doe.
Doe. All right, that works.
Veto.
You don't get to veto. It's not like you designed it.
No, it's veto. Those are that's
right?
The name. Veto.
The veto card.
VD.
Yeah, I just vetoed your board.
No VD. We're not calling this VD.
I gave you VD. Oh, come on.
VD.
These are the Suns. We can call it VD. Harry. We'll call it Harry. No. Who cares what we call it? It's awesome.
It changes the game. Like,
Sid,
I think more than any single card since Valor, at least. Since Morghulis, at least.
I can't play decks that are just about having Tywin and the Mountain and 7 cost Cersei and Jamie all in play at once anymore. Like, if I have all of those out, I have to make decisions.
Like, I feel like that's part of the point, but, like, even as much as that, like, you can't just, like, set up a dupe on all like, a couple of those characters and, like, shrug, I win. Like, this game is over. There's no reason to, like, even continue playing. I've got dupes. I've got the Eerie, whatever else, this ignores all that bullshit. And it's like, no.
Yeah, and it gets around what's it called?
Absolutely everything.
Spears of the Merlin King, right? Which gets around to what cannot be saved.
It gets around Iron Throne. It gets around. I want to say basically everything. No.
Iron Throne.
I don't. I mean,
Iron Mines. Sorry.
Right, because it gets around cannot be killed, so it gets around things like Lewin on Bran and all that kind of stuff. So
you're all celebrating that it gets around all that stuff. I'm lamenting that fact. I think it's going to create. I think it's going to create a rock paper scissors situation where, if you came prepared for Varys and Valor with dupes, whenever you run into Valor Dohaeris, you're screwed. And if so I can't be running dupes because I need to be worrying about Valor Dohaeris, then boom, you hit the Varys into the Valor, and you're screwed that way. So it ends up being more matchup dependent. So did you build your deck for one or the other?
Well, I mean, you can also totally run both. It's not like you can only run this if you're not running Valor Morghulis.
So you're just screwed either way.
Yeah, no, exactly. The idea is like much like first edition, where like if you play a character, like except for Mirror Read and the Red Viper, within like 2 or 3 rounds they're gone. Like you're not just sticking a character on the board and then leaving them there for the whole game, which makes the game to me like significantly more interesting. I hate just being like, well, there's a Tywin round 1 and they're gonna flood the board, and like I'm gonna have to spend 5 rounds getting rid of this, like. And by then I've probably lost, right? Like that's the whole.
I think you're talking about something further back in time, because it's not like that anymore. Did you see what won Blackwater? Like that's the heaviest reset craziness. Nothing stays on the board against that deck. The Tyrell Reigns deck. We're already there. We're already living that. Why do we need to lean into it?
Here's why. Here's my opinion. Why is that? Almost every kind of deck that we have out there has their reset, but this is something new, right? The Valor was there for people who play all the dupes and play all the saves. And we had Wildfire there for people who like to basically do the same thing. Keep 2 or 3 really powerful
Wildfire
characters.
wasn't a real thing. That's not a reset.
No, I know it's kind of a fake reset.
It's only a reset range.
The only reset we had for a while besides Varys. Yeah. But this allows the smaller curved decks to have a reset. Like none of the other resets worked for it, right? Not effectively. Their reset was don't play a reset. That's how they were good. That's how they managed to get through. This gives them a reset, which gives those decks a foothold. So I really don't think there's going to be that many decks which play 4 reset plots. I don't think that's going to happen that much.
I think there'll be a couple that play 2, but not 4.
A few. But this instead empowers a lot more variation in decks. It doesn't make one reset deck way better than anything else in the meta. I think it just empowers more decks.
I don't know what this kills except for bad play experiences. Like this in and of itself doesn't stop me from doing anything but like just piling on big guys.
I love piling on big guys.
If you're playing, if you've got 6 big guys on the board, like screw you. You deserve to get hit with this. But if you've got 1 or 2, this isn't going to hurt you that bad. If you've got 3, it'll sting. But probably you've got the economy to play more next turn. And if you're playing smart, you will. Like this will not kill big guys. It's not like people are going to stop playing big guys. It's not going to happen.
No, I don't think people stop playing big guys. I think that like you run 3 Tywin, right? Like I'm gonna keep using Lannister. It's just the best example. And in Greyjoy, you'd run 3 Euron, but you might not run 3 Tywin and 3 Gregor and like everyone else, right? Like you would choose
3 Jaime.
You would choose 3 Tywin and then 1 of a bunch of the others, and then 3 Tyrion. And like, fine. Now you have to like, if you don't see Tywin right away, you have to figure out different win conditions. Every game you play with that deck is not ultimately the same game. You're not just trying to set up your basic like shit and then go. You're trying to figure out what way you're going to have to use this particular hand, this particular way, because you have more shit in your deck.
Also, this is not a kill effect or even a discard effect, right? So, I think it's more forgiving to big guys, like. Than maybe we're giving it credit for, because if
more endless.
If I'm running 3 Eddard and 3 Rob and I get hit by this and I put Eddard at the bottom of my deck and I top deck one of the dupes, I can just play him that turn and he's not in the dead pile. I don't have to have any tricks to get him out of that situation. He's not, I haven't lost the card. It's just been removed from the board. It's cleared the board. It does this thing. So there's sort of, I think, it's I think a little bit more forgiving than Valor. I mean, I think it requires more thought of how you're going to control the board state, and that's the skill cap of this card, versus preparing for it in the way you have to prepare for Valor. And Valor can just really catch, particularly new players, off guard. I think it's actually, interesting. It hits a sweet spot of it's really punishing, I think, to higher end players, but more forgiving to lower end players in the way that works.
I very much agree. That, Roy, that made me think when you had the example of Eddard going to the bottom and then top decking him. Do you think it's going to be viable to just run the same amount of dupes, but just have the in-game play decision of actually duping less if you suspect a Valar Dohaeris as opposed to a Morghulis? Like, can I still run 15 7-costers out of Lanny and just not dupe and keep the dupe in my hand for after a Valor D?
You can try, but then you better know that deck is running Valor D and not the real Valor,
yeah,
right?
And I think that's the interesting decision. Then. Like, I think that's the cool, interesting decision. That's like a little closer to what I liked about First Edition, which is, you had to manage your resources. That if I drew a dupe of Tywin, I better put this
just
dupe
auto
of Tywin.
Play.
Just auto-play him, right?
Yeah.
If
dupes become less auto-play from this, I would put that in the positive column. I still feel like there's a lot of the negative.
I think it makes you, even if you want to play big guys, I think the plot, just the fact that it'll be out there, will make you play a more balanced curve. Like, you have to at least attempt to put some smaller cost guys in there, because you never want to be left with one after this. I mean, that's the thing, though. It's still just a when revealed, so it's not like you're going to immediately get marched by it. You play, someone plays it against you. Worst case scenario, you end up with one guy, right? But you have Marshalling, and you play another big guy and some other guys. But you do need to take into account, like, I need to have some lower curve guys here. I need some 1s, some 2s, some 3s, so that this doesn't just hose me every time someone plays it. But that's good for the game. If people have to play more kind of even curves, I think that's good, not bad.
The scarier thing, I think, is low-cost Renown, because this makes low-cost Renown more valuable than high-cost Renown, right? Because one of the things that this can do is clear those Lanny boards or those Stark boards where you have like 3 6-cost or 7-cost characters with Renown on them, and now 2 of them are gone, right?
So, but
like,
if that
Tyrell
happens,
with its like nice,
wait, but the card that answers that exists, right? Like, it's not like we don't know what to do about that. No, it's not even Valor. It's not Valor. It's John's card, Bruno's card.
Oh, for Snow.
Yeah, it hasn't been played like seriously in forever. But like, hey, if low cost curve. It's not in many decks anymore, man.
That's true.
But
it's not
like,
in every deck anymore, but it's still
not in many decks. It's here. It's played here and there, but like it's played sometimes in Lanny.
It's rare. I mean, I get
sometimes
surprised
in Lanny.
Yeah.
Not the current best Lanny.
It's rare.
Whatever. But I don't think it belongs. Whatever. Neither here nor there. But like, if Valar Dohaeris really starts making that low curve shit really like the whole meta, it's not like the tool to solve that doesn't exist. I feel like what this card really does, like once it achieves balance, and all these cards eventually achieve balance, is it makes the best cost spot the 4 and 5, and like the 4 and 5 is a really healthy place for the best cost slot to be. It means you can get these bombs, but you have to be careful with them, and you can get these lower cost guys, but they might end up just being like filler or chud, and like these mid cost guys become like the center of the game, the center of the meta, and I think that's really healthy.
That's what it was in First Edition, right? 2 and 3 was the spot, so now 4 and 5 is the spot.
4 and 5.
It's almost like I've been trying to rebuild First Edition from the ground up here. I don't know if you noticed that.
Not subtly. Yeah.
I also think that this makes you like 7-cost characters with interesting effects versus Tywin. Like, I think strategies that are based around a single 7-cost character that they want to protect.
Like Fat Cat.
Right? Like Fat Cat or New Jon.
Or New Jon Snow, yeah.
Like, because you can keep things around them, but, you don't need 5-6 cost characters for that sort of slightly higher mid-range strategy that you see out of Lanny or Stark or Greyjoy right now. It makes you look at interesting 7-costers. So if you want to build a 7-coster deck that's based around one cool flagship character, you actually need to build it around that character instead of just say, I'm going to throw all the good Stark cards and maybe cut 4-cost cat for a 7-cost cat and see what happens. It's no, I'm going to build my 7-cost cat deck and use this reset, which helps that deck against some of its predators, which are the Lannister decks, the Greyjoy decks, the other Stark decks that are playing all these mid-range 6-cost bullshit strategies.
I think there's a problem of quantity of quality right now. That sounds good in theory, Roy, but if you don't have good to replace the Eddards and the Robs. Like, if you don't have better cards to replace them, or even just like a little bit worse cards to replace them, I think what you're talking about is just theoretical and not the current card pool.
But no, that's what gets people to play those lower curve cards. You can't just be like, I'm going to play these 4 or 5 guys with dupes and I'm set. I'm good to go. Like, game over for the next 6 plots. You know, you can't do that anymore. You're going to have to fill in your deck with other cards, which means some of those dupe plots.
You're saying put bad cards in your deck.
No, not bad cards.
Yeah.
I mean,
dupes are a problem, man. Dupes are an issue.
So earlier today, I was playing a game, and at the end of round 1, my opponent had a tripped Tywin, duped Tyrion, and then like a Jaime and a bodyguard. And guess what happened to Varys in that matchup, right? Treachery. So like, yeah, that game's over from round 1.
It's a reset with teeth. I mean, honestly, Valor, the way the game booted from the beginning of 2.0, Valor did not. I mean, I know people were like, the sky is falling when Valor came out, but I don't think it had the intended effect. At least if you're, from my perspective of a really good reset with teeth, it never really filled that role. Like, it didn't. I'm almost happy when my opponent plays Valor this time, because you can see it coming. I've planned for it. I've got a better plot than Valor when they flip it, and I usually end up beating someone. Like, Valor doesn't have the teeth. This card, with its stats, with its cannot be saved, has teeth. It's a real reset. It's better than Valor.
Yeah, the problem with Valor is that, like, right around Valor, all these different answers to Valor came out, and then it got all these terrible stats, and like, it just. Valor decks feel like have to run like 3 other resets because, like, hey, guess what? Every deck that's good is built to survive Valor. And then if you can stop the Varys or the whatever else, then congrats, like, the game is over, right? It's part of why Lanny Reigns is so good. Because it has that built-in answer to Varys, and then it just ignores Valor with all the 18 ways it has to. And, like, that doesn't happen now. Now, like, I don't think Lanny Reigns is bad with this by any means. I think Lanny Reigns is still probably one of the best decks, but I bet you it looks awfully different.
It might actually be a jumper deck.
More Clansman-y. Yeah, it could be more Clansman. Because that's already a fun, pretty good version, but it may be the go-to now.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I love about this reset is, I mean, anyone who's listened to Reset White Book episodes knows, like, I hate Lanny Reigns. I hate what it does to the game. I hate its playstyle. I hate everything about it. I hate playing. Like, I lose games not because the deck I'm playing is bad against Lanny Reigns, but simply when I sit down across from someone playing Lanny Reigns, I tilt myself before the game begins. I'm just like, oh, no. I know how this game is going to go. Oh, there's Tywin. Yep. Oh, okay. Oh, there's Jaime. Oh, okay. Oh, I Valored. Oh, you have the Eerie. Oh, and a dupe on Tywin. Oh, okay. All my characters are dead.
Bodyguard on the wrist.
Oh, this is great. I love this. No. This makes you have to rethink those kind of decks, like, a lot. And more than Stark Watch, more than any other card that we currently have. Like, the big tragedy, I think, of Valor was when who was it that went to Batalla with Eerie? Which European was it?
Alec Trigg.
When he came to Batalla with the Eerie and played Lanny Eerie deck, I was like, oh fuck. Like, they figured it out. They solved it. They found the like, for a while Valor was suppressing the Lanny bullshit strategy. People were looking at Tyrell. They were looking at Greyjoy, but it's like, nope, we could just run the same Lanny bullshit, but now at the Eerie. Fun. And this deck says, fuck you, or this card rather says fuck you to that strategy, which this warms my heart, like, a lot. And
hey, Suis Buzz, whoever that is,
it's Buzz.
Called me out. Is it Buzz? Okay. He called
Why
me
is he not on the podcast? If
I don't know.
Get on
He's like totally able to do this. But he said, why don't you talk about how this interacts with Bet Against My Family? And he's right. It's so good with that card.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can grab those key characters from the bottom of your deck.
Is it one, or is it all of them?
One.
It's one, right?
One. Yeah, you pick one.
You pick one card, but it's the 5 cards from the bottom of your deck.
Right.
But obviously,
it's not like you get all 5 characters back for one.
No.
And then you play Ryan's the next
one.
one.
Then you play
Ryan's.
No,
you can't.
No,
you can't.
No, you can't do it.
And that's when it would discard itself. So it's good. Then you have to play the hands whatever, right? The Tower of the Hand, which would be
good though. It's another way that Bet Against is useful because you're seeding no other card out of Lanny lets you seed the bottom of your deck like that. So it's really nice in that context.
Like, isn't that kind of awesome? Like, now these cards.
No, it's great. I'm super excited.
No, but like even the whatever the hands chamber or whatever someone say about that is again.
Tower of the Hand.
Tower of the Hand.
Tower of the Hand. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. But even like Tower of the Hand was this
Return of
awesome
Fear.
card when it came out, and it's just like, man, Lanny can just play so much hyper efficient shit. There's no point. Guess what? Now there's a point, right? Like
I love Tower of the Hand. It's my favorite card in the game, so
well,
I will play Validahirus with Bamf and Tower of the Hand when this comes out.
Yeah,
I will have to
way
stop
more
playing
interesting Lanny
15
deck than what we currently have.
15 7-cost characters is pretty fun too. I mean,
yeah, for
It was fun.
I'm
One more
having
month
fun with
and
it
it
right
won't be.
Like
it's perfect. It's just like you have tools to do things that aren't turn card sideways. With your card, with this, like your card works great with this, right?
it's true.
Yeah.
An important thing to understand is also if anyone is afraid that this is going to hurt Lanny, you can look for the Bamf interaction, and then you can look at that Maester that they spoiled, and that Maester is ridiculous. And like that again shows you like fuck play.
Wait, what's hey,
Maester
what?
at the Rock.
Maester at the Rock. After
What
you
is that?
Whoa,
play...
we don't read cards on this. Don't read it for him.
Oh,
Don't
I don't want to read it?
He's the
I don't
biggest
know
one
what the
about
fuck
don't
it
read
does.
cards on this podcast or
Got
video
it.
show or whatever. So
No, that's like when we, all right, then put it up on screen.
I didn't prepare to put it on the screen. So
Oh, let me
Well-
just read it.
It gives an
Okay.
event back. It gives you an event
Yeah.
back. That's all
After
you need to know.
play a Lannister event, kneel the Maester to move that event from your discard pile to the top of your deck. So it just like instantly goes from playing it to the top of your deck.
So Lannister can have treachery every turn.
Yeah.
Yep. Or Bamf.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
or Bamf, or whatever you
Yeah, but really treachery, right? Like Bamf is good for that, but like
I think you
Yeah.
can run both in your deck. Pretty cool.
yeah, that seems likely. But
Yeah,
like
you
no,
can run
run
a
a couple
bunch of
like
good
that.
Lannister events like Hear Me Roar.
There's probably room for
Bamf,
running both of those.
Treachery, You know, Trial by Combat.
some of the more expensive Lannister events that now you can play with Orion's champ card.
And you know, if you
I really like that
Wait,
three cost one.
So if you treachery or play Trial by Combat and you win the challenge with Draw Maester, you get the card back immediately, right?
Yes, yes, you
Yeah, with Pycelle's insight.
Yes.
do. Man, it's a good thing Maesters didn't win that thing. We don't have a Maesters. Oh fuck.
Yes.
By the way, those
Any
cards are the
Maesters?
right cost to run with this agenda.
But to be fair, though,
sorry, plot.
you're not going to be bringing Maester of the Rock into your Conclave Tyrell deck because it's only Lanny offense, thank God.
No, but like you can bring. I guess you like.
You
that
can't mix
Maester
factions
agenda-
besides the Maesters.
Oh yeah. But that Maester's like big agenda's big draw, or at least a lot of the draw for me was being able to grab. Is Crescent the Barrow one? Yeah, being able to grab Crescent, but with Ryan's card, I don't fucking need Crescent. Those cards aren't even going to be in the meta. Like, I can't imagine negative attachment surviving.
R.I.P. Maester's agenda.
Oh no,
So
I mean
sad.
Crescent helps against
Really.
the Martell attachments.
Yeah, that's true.
Which
Those
are
Martell attachments will probably see a research too.
you just replay them. Ryan's card returns like, all right, that attachment's waiting
Yeah.
for that character when it comes back.
And that's
Luckily,
gonna-
most of the negative ones are terminal, but you're right. There are a couple pesky ones. Super underrated is Stinking Drunk
yes.
Oh.
in
Such a good
in Lanny Stag with Big Cersei. It's a very stupid thing. I've lost to that many times.
Lose all your cards. I like it.
Was there anything else in the announcement that stood out to you guys? Oathbringer.
You guys are
Oathkeeper.
welcome. You guys
Keeper.
are welcome
Oathkeeper.
for my champ card, by the way, which will make the game anew.
Well, if this card brings you back in
Oh,
Force
yeah.
Laser, then
Yeah,
it's worth it.
This is what I was waiting for. Like 100%. When this card is out, I'll be playing full time again.
That makes me
Like
happy.
that's all I wanted. I won't buy any cards. I might actually just steal someone's copy of one of these. Like I still have a Valor somewhere. It's the only card I own. But like I might just.
I'll give you a copy.
Valor.
I'll give you one of
Perfect.
my copies, Aaron.
Because like this will go in every deck. I love this card. Like I can play Control with this and Valor.
so
I can play Control.
I'm gonna just announce this. So Red Saturday this year, we will be printing an alternate art version of this card. So,
Oh yeah.
so
Oh, I
Someone
also,
could hurry up and do a great haul. That would be
Yeah,
more.
right.
Malucci
great.
did, I thought.
Who did?
You should Tom Malucci. I think you should message him, Ryan.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I forgot. I guess I have those. But people need great hauls.
I actually own those. I've got like
Yeah,
six
I do
in
have them in my
binder.
thing. I forgot. Just
So-
we started our league up, and everyone's like, "Yeah, my Kings Roads are great halls." We're like, "I flipped these cards; they're great halls." Nobody has enough great halls.
What, are you saying you're not just going to buy like 5 copies of the chapter pack to do that? No.
Oh man,
Jones.
I'm reading.
I think
Krause.
we just lost Jones.
I'm reading Krause with great happiness.
So while we're waiting for Ryan, my 2 regular co-hosts, what do you guys think of the other cards that were announced?
Someone's gonna have to link me that. I just looked.
I can shoot the link into the chat.
Wait, what's the name of this chapter pack? Just tell me the name.
I don't fucking know.
Shit. To something.
To something. Alright, then drop me the link, because to something ain't gonna help.
I'll tell you right now. It's the Archmaester's Key.
Oh, that I can
There
Google.
you go. Boom. Septa Nysterica. I mean, I've read the books a lot of times. I don't even remember this person.
Isn't she the Septa that's like watching over Marjorie and her like siblings or her cousins and stuff?
I don't know.
Uh-oh, we lost Ryan. Someone's gonna have to add him back to the call.
I don't know.
Do that right now without completely.
I don't know what the rat cook is, but that's awesome art.
Wait, the rat? Oh yeah, but we don't know what it does yet.
Yeah, I don't know what I didn't say that we did.
It's one of the new story events, which is going to be cool.
I just think it looks awesome because that's really a rat that's like eating someone's face.
Yeah.
Septonestic area, whatever. That's going to be a good card.
Oh yeah, I mean, why? She's a 1-of, right? Permanently.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And that character removed from the challenge. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, you know what card Valador Harris makes good? I mean, it's already solid, but it makes really good. You know that Night's Watch attachment, the weapon that you can kneel to kill someone 4 or less?
Ooh.
I don't remember what it's called, but that card gets good with the mayor.
I like Queen's Men. I think Queen's Men is really good. You marshal them, choose an opponent, and look at their hand. Then you can kneel a non-bearer character to discard a non-character card from that hand. Heals, yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Like, it's Relore, so if you've got, original Mel, you play it, you kneel a guy, you discard a card from their hand. Yeah, hell yeah.
Sorry, I just read Ashmark.
Yeah, I think Ashmark is.
Oh, yeah.
Did I call it right, by the way?
Or
Hold on. Is one of the 4 septas to examine.
like, is the Facebook group freaking out? Wait. Oh, we're in the chat?
Oh, yeah, I was reading the chat.
Yeah.
They freaked out a little bit, I'll be honest.
The catapult. Yeah, I could see that causing... I don't think it's going to be great, but I think it's fun.
Yeah.
What,
Oh,
Ashmark?
man.
I don't think it's a fun card. I just think it's a pretty good card in decks that want to run it. Like,
yeah, I mean...
A second 1 to 3 additional first nose a winner that you get to choose.
I mean, look...
Which phase?
Wait, people are complaining about a new reset that's going to hurt big guy decks, and it comes with a card that's going to hurt small guy decks. Like, this is good. This is balance.
It's almost like Danny thought about it for a second.
Yeah, it is Lannister loyal, so that does limit its use, but still, it definitely...
It's not like Lannister's leaving the meta.
Lannister, right?
That's true.
No one
I think Lannister just gets to be fun after this. Like, I really hope so. But it looks like Lannister becomes a Trixie house instead of just a beat stick.
I think so too.
I really hope so as well. Like, for example, like the time when it looked like Dave Strome's Lanny Reigns was going to be the Lanny Reigns of the new meta. That was a great moment. Then it became what it is today.
So serious thought though, March to the Wall needs to be restricted.
What?
Yeah. Valador Harris plus Marched plus shit like this.
No, because remember, you can't like Valor Harris and then they still can marshal. It's not like the March comes like Varys, It's you've got time. You got time to marshal, put cards into play. I don't think that'll be broken. I think it'll be fine.
We'll see. We got time. So.
Okay, what the fuck is Oathkeeper?
Oathkeeper's cool. They're apparently we've only got these few cards, but apparently the new cycle is going to incentivize overall for you to play banner agendas. Yeah, so that could be cool.
If Terrell gets any really awesome combos, yeah. Ooh. Okay. By the way, in my champ card, that like guy on the side with the like tan suit, that's me, because I had to be in my champ card. So I would also take the girl in the back in the pink dress. Either one is fine.
I think of you as like the mammoth cock that we just can't quite make out.
I'll take it.
That is what that is, right? A mammoth right there? I don't know what else that could be. An elephant?
All right, we are literally in the graveyard of this particular topic. So I'm going to switch to sort of kind of our final topic for today.
Fine, I'm that guy.
Is the most important question that has been going around the Facebook book, including it's been pushed by several people I know that are in the chat, which are, is the game dead? Is AGOT 2.0 a dead game?
I mean, it was until my card came out.
All right. Is AGOT...
Did you not know that was my answer?
We knew it was your answer, but that's because you're so predictable.
Well, do you want to be completely honest, Aaron? I was really asking this question for Sid and Ryan, but sadly we don't have Ryan here. I feel like
what happened to Ryan?
Will have
what did happen?
Answers to this question. But
let me see if I can get Ryan back here.
The answer is just going to be no. No, the game's great. Love it.
Well, it's never been dead. It's just been, ups and downs.
Let me lay out the case, I guess. Which
Crests
is
and troughs.
That number one, and this is true, tournament attendance for the 2017 regional season is down by about a third in North America. It's stayed steady or increased in Europe, but it's really, is the game dead in North America, I guess, to be more precise, right? The less splashy version of the question. So... for example, I'll use dance. So dance, compared to last year's dance, we increased the turnout by about a third. We went from about 32 people to 49 people. We should have had 50 if Stromes had showed up, but he didn't. So
he did, just not to play.
Not to play. He sat and he wanted to play, and you could see it on his face, but he showed up too late to do it. But to be that 50th person, and but anyway, which still. We'll see how the DC regional this weekend goes, but right now it's still the largest regional in North America. That's great for dance, but the New Jersey regional, which was the regional for our region last year, was 72 players last year. So there was a 22-person loss between the New Jersey regional and the New York City regional. So while for our scene in New York City itself, we did a great job of growing it, all kinds of stuff, as a whole regional experience in the Northeast, attendance down. Same true for Tom's regional in Massachusetts. It was down from the Connecticut regional. The
Nationals was down.
Nationals was down significantly, about also 20, about a third, right? About a third of, about a third, right? And I could talk about successes like Star Pike, for example, which Philly had never had a tournament in second edition or for.
So what Roy is saying is the only way the game is alive is if you organize the tournament.
Correct, but. I mean, that's what I'm going to come around to. But my point is, no. But what I'm trying to say is this. Like, it is a sign of loss and suffering, right? We have people, there's an impression when you look at the Facebook group of people selling their collections. A relatively prominent new player in the Northeast, he and his partner are selling their collection, and they're out of the game. We have L5R coming up. You met them, Chris, and what's his partner's name? I can't remember her name off the top of my head. They were at Dance. They were at Star Pike.
Whatever. You don't know their name. Move on.
Right. But they come to a lot of events, right? I'm terrible with names. So what I'm just trying to say is the impression is there, right? Look at there were 12 people regionals this season in North America. We're back to that first edition standby, right? So is the game dead? Is the game dying? If it's not, what can we do to at least assuage that feeling that it's dead?
I mean, I quit, so I understand the feeling, right? The game, it's not a fun, I don't feel like variance is fun to most people. You can see it in the sheer amount of rage quits you get, even on something like Throne Techie. There's so many games that are done within, 2 plots. And, if that's your tournament experience, you're not going to, that's your first or second tournament experience, you're not coming to many more, right? And it's not necessarily anything you did wrong. It's just they set up that tie-in with the dupe and that other thing, and you're just well, that was fun. I'm going to go home now. So they quit. How is that not logical? That makes perfect sense.
Sid?
I understand the sentiment. I think maybe now even more than I did in the beginning. I mean, I'm an admitted fanboy. I wasn't gonna quit. I'm no quitter. But I understand why people did. I know why Aaron did. We talked about it, and it made sense to me. And I know why a lot of people, I think, are selling collections now. The game does feel like it's in a little bit of a lull. But I still think it's early. I mean, it's early days 2.0. I think there's a lot of opportunity for it to come back. And I think there will be an upswell that gets more and more people into it. There's a lot of factors that could hinder that, like rotation, like new games coming out from FFG, and FFG's kind of pattern of only supporting brand new games and not so much supporting the tried and true games. But I don't think Thrones has hit its stride in terms of the quality of the game. I think that's still ahead of us. So my hope is that we'll see numbers increase again. But I'll say I'm cautiously optimistic that will actually happen. It'll take more than just the game getting better. People need to find a way to be exposed to it, and the community needs to expose people. FFG needs to expose people. It's going to take a big effort, and I just don't know if there's enough people to do that. Like, I'm trying to do that. I know you're trying to do that, Roy, because we run big tournaments every year. But I don't know how much other people are trying to do that, and it worries me.
Yeah, I mean, I think my take on this, and I said this in the AGOT 2.0 group, was somewhat along the lines of what you're saying, Sid, is that we can't rely anymore on just the show and the fact that it's a new game to... oh, Ryan wants back, I think.
Yeah, he does.
Cool.
Let me see.
All right, let me add Ryan back into the call. All right, I'll have to rearrange everything. All my clever rearranging. Move Sid here. Throw Ryan text back in. Boom. All right, but anyway, so my point was, more precisely, that we can't rely on the show, and we can't rely on the fact it's the new hotness from FFG to make the game grow on its own. We have to actually put the effort into growing the game, which I think the 2.0 community isn't quite there yet, which I think one of the stronger things about the 1.0 community towards its end was it was committed to growing itself in many ways. Like, I was brought into the game by Dan Struhall, by Dave Stromes, by Aaron, who really put the effort in to mentor me and help me and make me a better player, which I feel like the second edition community wasn't quite there because it could just rely on natural growth. And so we're now at a stage where we have to work to get that. Is everybody there?
In a cruel twist of irony, I just got the guy who originally got me into the game in the CCG back into the game now in 2.0, which is weird, to convince the guy who got me in to get back in. So that's one nice little story.
Who's that?
Danny Machado. He bought a collection at KublaCon. You didn't know that?
He is the Queen of Love and Beauty.
He is.
I hadn't heard that. That's very cool.
Yeah, he did. Chaos is back. He's easing in, but he is back. All right.
Very cool.
All right. You know what? I'm going to forget at this point of the show of trying to do any fancy things, Buzz style. So I am going to...
I have a TV show theory.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
No, like a real TV. It could be. I think Cersei's going to end up married to the Night King.
What?
Whoa.
Whoa.
That's huge.
Yeah, like I
Spoilers.
think about it. There's no spoiler. It's complete fan theory. It was just
Married
when
to
she
a
was talking about like wanting strong allies. I was just like, huh.
Check yourself, Glazer. Check yourself. Night King doesn't want to marry that.
Well,
the concept of marriage is foreign to
Frozen,
bro.
Not true. We know the history of the 13th commander of the Night's Watch.
Beers. Let's bet beers. No way.
It's totally a completely random theory. It just felt like it fit, especially with her look lately.
That'd be pretty cool.
It would be cool.
I like that. All
right, but we didn't get Ryan to actually talk about the topic that we're supposed to do, which is on the screen here for viewers, which is AGOT dead? Is the second edition of the game dead, Ryan? I know you just published a card, so you have a vested interest in this question. So, with the tournament attendance down significantly, at least a third?
Only in North America.
Only in North America. Again, this is Second Sons. We don't have to be unbiased here. All right.
Kubla was up. I'll say Kubla was up like 8 players. So that's
there you go.
minor, but it was up.
It was up 8 players right in front of Nationals.
That's true. One weekend before Nationals on the same coast. So it was a small success, but a small success is still a success.
But Nationals on the same coast was down a third from last year. So.
True.
It's never been there, though. I mean, I don't know if we have a baseline for West Coast Nationals.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm wearing my ETX shirt. All right, so like, Sid and I had a fun time doing that, but.
I don't think you can compare them.
But we weren't there, Roy. We weren't there.
We weren't there, but we were there in spirit, and I spent a lot of time that Sunday doing the comments.
Me too, man. I spent like a day and a half there, even though I wasn't even there.
I went to work on Monday, and I was like, I feel like I didn't have a weekend.
Oh wait, anyway. I didn't.
Sorry, Ryan. So, what is your take on this game got dead?
I'm not a huge part of the national or international community, but San Diego's thriving.
Yeah.
Everything's up in San Diego, so I don't know. It doesn't seem dead to me. Thrones War is expecting 80 plus next year.
Oh, yeah. Really? You can fit 80 plus in your house?
No.
We graduated from my house last year, actually, Glazer.
Yeah, huge
upgrade. It's Thrones weekend near Ryan's now. It's the name still sticks.
You got to party in your house and meet your awesome family, who were amazingly generous to us. So
we moved to a hall down the street, and 67 or 64 was very spacious. I think we're going to stay in the same place next year for 80-ish.
I'll try and make it next year.
I'm 100% going to be there. So.
It's crazy. Story. The only rule is that you can't play Valador Harris, so you might want to.
Oh, then never mind. I won't be there. There's no chance I'm there. Sorry. I only play Thrones.
It'll 100% be legal there. There'll be like 3 chapter.
Oh wait. It'll be fine. I'll just totally play the Pale Mare.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Try and DQ me. We'll be fine.
There's usually a draft, so you could play the Pale Mare.
No. In my joust deck, my straight up like constructed joust deck, and it's like, you said no to Harris. Here's the Pale Mare.
Hey Sid, check your camera.
Oh, what's wrong with my camera?
You're currently, at least on my end, showing a little like load screen.
Oh no.
So.
My bad.
I think it's true. But one of the things we were sort of talking about, Ryan, before we got a little sidetracked is, I really do think that the game is not going to grow organically anymore, and we're going to have to like put effort in to doing it. And
it's just like the old days.
Yeah.
We lived that life for like 5 years.
Yeah.
It does take more effort, but it's certainly not impossible.
But the nice thing, I think, is when you bring somebody in at the post-organic growth stage, they usually stick, at least for a while.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, I'm a great example of this. Like, I showed up at a meetup, but I was sucked in by the NYC community. They mentored me, blah, 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 and I stuck, right? I
you don't suck that bad.
And all that kind of stuff. And there are other players like that. And there's second edition players who are the same way, who sort of came in with that. But the other main thing I think we need to talk about, which I got to, is like, what is L5R going to do to our community? Because like a lot of really committed, driven, amazing community members for second edition are L5R players who've kind of parked their car in our parking lot for a while waiting to go over to what they really want, which is to play L5R, which they've played for like decades in some cases.
Yeah.
So do we think we can survive and FFG, I mean, they're doing a fucking costume show at Gen Con. Like, and they're doing this like London event where if you like tweet or Instagram out yourself in costume, they'll go send you to London. Like,
Roy,
yes.
Roy, yes. They're gonna ruin L5R. Just relax. It's FFG. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm not being cynical. Like, nothing about their organized play in history has suggested that they can sustain this in any way, shape, or form, unless like, have you ever seen anything from them that suggests this is more than just a blip?
Well, the amount of money that they spent on L5R makes me think that it's not going to be a blip, that they want to make their money back. Like,
yeah, and then they will, and they'll be like, we're done with this shit.
Maybe. I feel like I get this feeling that they got the AGOT license really cheap from George Martin before it was like Game of Thrones, and they don't have to put the investment. Like, every bit they invest in it is just like making them even more money than they can kind of just earn by sitting on their ass. Like it's just the way they treat all of the Thrones material that they put out. I feel like it's just like, this is just icing. Like,
if if I were them, I'd have the dice game right now. I'd be like, fuck all y'all. I'm making a dice game. You guys can like go be angry and not play our games anymore.
Thrones
A dice game would
what would
Thrones the
call
dice a game of Thrones the dice game. The dice game, and then you just like you literally just build it off the Star Wars Destiny engine, and you make bajillions of dollars and laugh at the like 12 of us who are sad about Thrones, the card game. Yeah, like I would
will
immediately
actively not play Thrones Destiny. Like I did not like Destiny in my experience with it. Sorry, Destiny fans
like
of the show.
it doesn't matter if you like it. Destiny made a bajillion dollars for them, right? Like they had no way. Like Thrones is the hottest it's ever been. They release that shit next week, and it sells out everywhere for at least the next year.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like if they like money, and we know they don't. If they did, that's what they do. Like immediately.
Like Sid and I had this conversation when I was really, really drunk at Thrones War. Did we have this conversation, Sid?
Something like this.
About the dice game and it being like the apocalypse. That's like.
I don't even think it's
like,
gonna happen.
Trump's president now, and there's this like apocalypse that you can like see far off, like kind of in the distance. It's getting like closer and closer, kind of thing. I don't know.
So is the game dead? No. Is the game dying? Probably, but very slowly.
Stabilizing, I think, is the word.
Just like our planet. Is the planet going to literally be burned to death today? No.
I mean, and I have like the planet is just about as positive outlook as the game, right? Yeah. That fits. Both full of kind of shitty people. Lots of pollution. Yeah.
It's a good metaphor. So, well, we've been doing this for a while now, like an hour.
Do we want to take any questions from the chat, or you want to call it?
Yeah, we can do questions from the chat. I also have a question from the Facebook that I think is directed towards Ryan. Let me bring up the Facebook while Aaron or someone vamp and do stuff while I try to look up this question. Dun, 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 we're so professional. It got second edition. Here we go. So Brad asks.
I don't take questions from Brad.
Oh, you don't?
That's such a good fucking decision.
All right, cool. All right, so next question.
Pretend it's from someone else.
All right,
yeah, Brad.
Right.
Wait, is Brad the one who was mean to you recently? Someone was mean to Roy, and it made me sad.
Well, I'm no longer
that was Booker.
Allowed to
that was Booker?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then time out. Hey, Booker, go fuck yourself. I'm allowed to be mean to Roy.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they're the same person, honestly. Like
that would not shock.
So Brad's question is this. So he's asking, we kind of talked about this a little, but he's wondering if, Ryan, are you planning for all of your cards to synergize together?
Loosely.
Loosely. And then secondly...
I kind of wanted... When I only had two, I really wanted the two to be like something like Joe
left and right.
Yeah, left and right, that kind of thing. That is out the window.
So also he also asked, if that's not true, since you have a power card with your first card, are you going to go a little like make the dream theme card now, or are you going to try to aim for like high competitive level cards for all of them?
So I honestly thought that this was not going to be the good one, the really good hyper competitive playable card, but if this bears out to be that one, I'll be happy. Second card I mentioned earlier is high theme. Honestly, it's art based, which is a weird way to make a card, but a very good friend of mine pitched a scene to me, just something that could be the art, and that sold me on it so hard that I said, okay, I'm making that art be my card, and worked from there. Third card, still up in the air.
Cool.
We'll see.
And the final question is, would you, so with your next card design, so you're going to aim to do obscure characters or mechanics, or are you going to try to sort of do something else?
He's not. Legend.
If I could single-handedly bring back Shadows, I would do that.
Okay, there we go. So next card, an S0 card from Ryan.
Be still my beating heart.
Do Sir Preston. Oh, I love
yeah, there we go.
With no other Shadows cards, okay?
Yeah, just He was good without being a stat. Like
yeah, it didn't matter.
I know.
He made Siege work. All right, whatever.
Anyway.
Hey, we have a couple questions in the chat.
Cool. I have some more Facebook questions too. So.
Oh, okay. Which one do you want to do?
We'll do some chat questions now, because chat's been with us through all the technical nonsense.
All right. So, not going to pretend I know how to say that. But Peas says is Hyper Viper. He's here a lot. Is Hyper Viper an actual deck to worry about in tournaments, or is it just an anomaly? So, can I share an anecdote to answer that before you guys do?
Yeah,
sure.
There's a deck I like a lot. So I sent it to like a few people that I'm friends with the other day, and one of the people was Sandy, and he replies, "Man, this just loses to Hyper Viper." And my answer was, "Yeah, I don't care." So what? So that basically answers what I think of Hyper Viper. The rest of you?
It's real.
I'm more bullish.
It's a real
on
threat.
Viper as well.
Yeah.
I think
it seems pretty
clear
good
answers, to me. But I think if you don't realize what those answers are, spoilers.
I mean, you still have to see them.
It's not nightmares because the deck runs 3-hand judgment, and it's just like, bye.
But
True.
I mean, if you run your own hands judgment, nightmares and hands judgment. So.
Yeah. So
I had 2 nightmares and a treachery, and all 3 of them got hands judgmented. 1 from the discard and 2 from hand during the Annals turn.
Oh yeah.
Annals.
Yeah, it's an Annals turn that it goes off on, right? Like I mean, there's options. It's just look if it.
No one's running the options. Like.
Yeah, that's fair.
Milk's a really good answer, and if my card busts Milk out of the meta, Viper has a better shot. Like.
That's true.
It's true. It's a Viper. It's like a good. Oh, you just screwed my Viper turn. I'm gonna return him to my hand, and he's nice. Delay another turn. I don't know. I think Hyper Viper is definitely a concern, but I don't know.
Heads on spikes. New Mel. Seen in Flames. I mean, it's unlikely to be super effective, but his Viper Eyes, just random fucking intrigue pulls. Like, there's shit you can do, right?
They're not winning challenges for his Viper Eyes. That is not an answer. It's not even close to an answer.
No.
And, like, sometimes it's going to go off and win. Sometimes it's going to go off and win, and sometimes you're going to have 15 power before it does, right? Like...
Yeah.
Could you get my opener? Thank you.
I hope a bunch of people bring it to Gen Con. I really do.
If you're playing Vera, you want to see the crap out of that. Like, well, Vera's the big answer.
Yeah, I mean, like, I won't be at Gen Con, but, like, anything that gets us a restricted list would be fucking awesome for me.
Yeah.
I'm in
Anything
on that.
Fast beats it, right? If you're a rush deck at all, if you have the ability to rush, you can just outspeed it really easily.
Yeah,
I don't think it's that bad.
I don't especially know how it stops Lannister. And it really doesn't like seeing political disaster, right?
No, it doesn't.
I mean, here's the thing. Like the real question, like some brave North American has to take that deck to a big North American tournament of at least 40+ people in the world of the best kill spell in the game meta that we have here, and see if it survives. Like and Euro decks like Builders have shown that they can survive that, but many other Euro decks just don't work in the US meta. And there's a lot of reasons for that, and maybe we should do a whole fucking episode about like about the differences between Europe and North America. But I think the one thing that's holding it here is Americans are scared. Because if you fuck up bringing Hyper Viper to a major tournament like Gen Con, that deck can't win if the meta has tech against it. It's not a Lanny Reigns deck. It's not a Barra deck. It has no other win condition than Hyper Viper. So if people are ready for it and prepared, then it's a fucked deck. It has.
Does it beat Builders?
I haven't played Builders versus Hyper Viper.
I feel like Builders just is like, I have 60 strength in this challenge. So
yeah,
because you have to win by X amount, right?
Right.
Right.
Or you have to count.
To count.
Well, it's not win by X amount. It's just count strength.
It's a count by
strength. It's count how much the Viper has. So they could actually, as long as you can get more than them, I think it's okay. I mean, they would have to minus your strength.
If your opponent is literally doing nothing for the first 2 turns, like no challenges.
It's win by.
Yeah.
Wait, Viper?
Yeah, always.
Okay.
Like I think if your opponent
for every 5 strength you win.
But honest to goodness, if your opponent's literally doing nothing but trying to reset you and draw cards, the building this deck, if it has a good start, can beat that deck. It's not rushing, but it's gaining power steadily. And if you're not going to be able to defend a power challenge, well, it could do a power challenge against you and accumulate some unopposed power and all kinds of stuff and get up there to the point where, and it can do enough power to maybe stall out your Viper turn. That it might be able to. I would have to test it and playing.
I mean, if it stalls out your Viper turn, it just marches, right? Like it's like, march. Yeah. We're done with that. We're done with that. I win now. Can you just scoop and we can move on with life? Yeah.
So, I don't know. Viper is
it's a niche.
Look, the
Hyper,
like if a Craven and Milk on it. Well, Ryan's card though helps with that.
Everything I like that deck would beat, but I don't think that beats the kind of bullshit I don't especially like. Like a go first Lanny Reigns does a lot of bad shit to Hyper Viper, right?
Yeah. Most crossing decks just win before it can set it up.
I mean, whatchamacallit's really bad for Viper, the 4/0/0.
Oh, Red
Wedding?
Red Wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Not if they're going second. Because they're not going to win that first challenge.
That's fine. If they're going second, that's a different problem, right? And then you just try and keep like 100 gold for your Tywin and make sure he has some stealth or something. Yeah, I mean, like, it's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
It's good. I don't think it's...
Like, Greyjoy, if it gets going, can win. Like, if you're not really putting pressure on a Greyjoy player, they can do all kinds of nutso stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good. I just think there's enough random shit that just beats it because... we have a bunch more questions if you want.
Yes, we want lots of questions.
Wadmander says, what are your Gen Con decks? Roy's the only one going and he doesn't know yet.
Oh, I actually do know. I'm playing Builders.
Are you at Gen Con?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, 100%.
There's almost no way we're letting him do that.
Come on, Roy.
All right, when I show up with Builders,
it's played. Its time is over. Move on.
I like how Roy sneakily said about 5 minutes ago, someone's going to have to go to a big tournament and take Hyper.
Ooh. That's right.
It won't be Roy. It's not Roy's play style at all.
Is he more of a builder?
No, I'm a boring Night's Watch player now these days. The kind of player Ryan hates. Ryan may love me as a person, but he hates me as a player. So.
Yep, I do.
Oh, yeah.
Night's Watch players are bad. Bad people.
Gave me a top 4 and a top 8 though this year, so I'm pretty happy.
You could also range into Filthy, says Snuddy, by the way.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And I expect Reigns to be the best deck at this Gen Con. I think Ryan's card does, like, even if it kneels the faction card, I think it just does awesome things for Reigns. Like, you don't use Reigns every turn, so I think it can run both.
Maybe.
I mean, like, I don't know if top players will bring it, and that's always a major factor too, right? They run. Kal Alejandrogo says they run Seal, and that's fine. But like with that one challenge, it usually takes them both. That's why they run Seal. It usually takes them both to go from 0 to 15.
Yeah.
Questions have next question. Kraus says, "Will the Metas in California better support Nationals next year?" And he is currently stirring the pot.
He wants Nationals in California. Is that what he's saying?
No. He wants the Metas in California to better support Nationals.
Better support Nationals.
Oh.
Because that's the difference in its attendance.
Yeah, Nationals needs to move a little bit later in the summer. That's all. That's all it would take.
I mean, has anyone talked to Patrick about that?
Oh yeah, he knows. He knows.
Yeah, but I think the problem. I think Patrick said this on Beyond the Wall. Was that? I mean, he's locked into a contract with the convention center at Seattle. There we go. That place that the tournament is. So like,
Are
I
you
think it's
high?
a bit more complicated
Roy's high.
than just. It's just like if Sid and I were trying to not schedule tournaments at the same time, it'd be like, I'll talk to the store. We'll move to a different weekend. But I think there's more logistical issues than that with trying to get two conventions to fit up. I
think they can be worked out though, and I think with the effort that we could split those tournaments up a little bit. I mean, just not having them on back-to-back weekends. And in previous years, they were on the same weekend, and then you're going to get no support from California. And there was decent support just having it the next, the weekend after. If you could get like 2 weeks between, I think that would be ideal. You get max California support. It doesn't need to be 6 months later. Just like let's get 2 weeks between these big West Coast tournaments, and I think you'll be fine.
It's true.
You definitely would have had at least 10 more.
I'll say this on the show now. There's like a 2 out of 3 chance that I'll be at Kubla this year. So.
Oh yeah?
Nice.
You mean next year, 2018?
Next year, 2018. Yeah.
Well, in case people don't know, and I'll just put this out there, it's been announced, but Kubla is now on the road to Stalik, and unlike all road to Staliks, maybe not all, but we are offering full airfare and accommodations to the winner. This is not
cool.
This is not just a.
And that's what did it. Totally not Ala's best friend moving to San Francisco. Not at all.
No, couldn't have been that. The winner will get airfare and accommodations to Stalik, to Bacharach, Germany. So, yeah, we're really excited to be able to offer that at Kubla 2018.
Yeah.
That's an amazing prize.
So you hear that, Patrick? Move Nationals just a little bit later, and it'll be so great. We'll all go.
So let me ask a question from friend of the show and friend of several people here, Buzz Hannon. What card in the last 6 months has exceeded your initial expectations? What card has underwhelmed? So it's been about 6 months since we've done an episode. So
it has.
The Night's Watch location economy.
Overwhelmed or under? So under or over?
Really good. I don't know, whatever, but it's really
Vault?
good. Yes, that one. It's a really good card. So is
no, it's only one. Right? So what's your over exceed, Ryan? What's a card that when you saw it you thought it was and ended up being really good?
Come back to me.
Okay, Sid.
It was only for a few moments, but I wasn't actually really excited about Last of the Giants at first.
That was my other card.
It's not even because of Varys that made me go, oh, this card is great. It's when I started looking at things like the Wildling Horde and Jaqen and a few other cool neutrals that I realized, you know what, this card actually has a lot of potential. It's kind of been shoehorned and typecast into the whole like ease of Varys wipe, but I think it actually has a lot more to it, and I really, really like the card. So it underwhelmed me at first, but now I really like it, and not just for Varys.
Last 6 months. Renly's Pavilion for me. I thought it was going to be kind of okay-ish, but it's actually ended up being like just a really, really clutch card.
It's fantastic. I'm the same boat. I undersold it big time.
So
that I knew would be good.
Dude, that card was in first edition exactly as printed, except non-unique.
Yeah,
and it was trash.
But challenges matter more in second edition, right? And
I'm
glad. You get more benefit from that in with Terrell specifically.
Well, but also I mean, also so many challenges these days. Like but it's not just that it's -1 +1. It's like the way it just really screws really tight challenge math. I mean, played so much builders against Tyrell decks. Like the way that slight challenge adjustment can really screw you, and if you're bad at math like me, can easily screw up your calculations. It's just fantastic. So, all right, we'll do reverse order, and we'll say card we thought was going to be amazing that was released, I guess, in the last 6 months would be Hot Pie for me. So I thought Hot Pie would be.
I definitely thought Hot Pie was going to be good.
1x in every deck forever, but as we learned, what prevented an all Hansen final at Nationals was the presence of Hot Pie in one of the Hansen decks. So
too bad.
That's
I don't know what's.
All right, so then we went. Right, skipped Ryan. So Sid.
A great card. A card I thought was great, but turned out to be kind of trash. I don't know. I mean, Duel's kind of an easy target, but once you really thought about Duel, you kind of went, eh. I tried Duel. I playtested it for a while. Not officially, but, just like when it came out, I played it a lot and tried to get it to work. And there was a few times where, like, with Duel and then a Tyrion's Chain, I was able to do some cool stuff, but it wasn't consistent, and it wasn't good enough. I feel bad that it is a champ card and that it is Dark Naja's card, but I do wish that card was a lot better. Something happened there along the way that made it not good, and I'm sad about that.
Ryan's nemesis is probably those fucking playtesters.
Playtesters. I blame the playtesters.
Second
Ryan goes first. Come on.
Why does Ryan go first?
Whoa, I thought it was left.
Reverse order.
Ryan said he was last.
All right, fine.
I got 2 for the end.
He's the only
Give me
here with
last,
person
I'll
with
do
a card
2.
design. 2 more. So go ahead, Aaron.
Second Son's the best worst card in the game for the best worst podcast in the game.
Ooh, Second Sons. Second Sons isn't that bad.
I have seen some decks that actually Second Sons is good.
It's okay. I just want
It can work.
Second Sons.
It can work.
There's not like I don't know what the fuck's come out lately. I just remember it has, so I chose that.
I like that you said Second Sons because Buzz asked the question, and he's a big Second Sons apologist.
He is. He likes Second Sons.
Oh, that poor guy.
I like playing against him because he plays bad cards like the Second Son.
I have a real answer.
Sure.
The Night Gathers.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, which one's that?
Yeah, I thought Night Gathers was going to be fucking incredible, and it's just kind of there.
It's almost there, though. Like,
If
we get
it may
HOD
get
back, HOD Queen's Crown.
Yeah. Well, if that
In my
happens.
experience, Knights Gathers has been really, really good. Like, Johnny Wright's got a dirty discard deck, and it's hard to beat. It just always has characters on the board. Doesn't matter whose they are. Like, it may be the style of stuff I play, but I get pissed off when he has constantly has 7 characters on the board every single turn after reset after reset. Like,
I mean,
I'm like
that's
that.
exactly the kind of deck Johnny wants to play. Johnny's definitely in bed by now too, right?
I
It's like 8:30 p.m. That's past his bedtime.
got 2.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
I thought Big Mel was going to be worse than she is.
Yeah, me too.
Big Mel's been wrecking California. Kevin at San Diego, and then Calahondrogo in the Bay Area. She's just very, very good. I said, how's she going to replace Little Mel? And if I play a bear deck, I'm putting the Big Mel in there.
Yeah, Calahondrogo and I were both playing her in our top 4 match at the NorCal Regional. He beat me, but she was good and all day for me also until she worked against me in our matchup.
Ooh.
Did she pull Big Mel out of your hand though? That's the only.
I think he did. I'm not sure for sure, but he definitely pulled Bob out of my hand with her, and maybe even Big Mel. Yeah, as soon as he got the dominance edge, it was like all over. It was all over.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Because of her. Yeah.
Well, look,
I don't enjoy that
bad
about them.
cards. I hear like Close Call. I'm just saying.
I think Close Call's only a good card in summer decks.
It's really good card in summer decks. Even summer decks that don't give a shit about what's in their
Dead pile, yeah.
dead pile.
It's just like, all right, well,
Builders,
6.
which I played a lot of. So
It's basic in a one of those decks. It's basically a mid-game, one-sided Time of Plenty.
yeah, and with 5 gold, like
6 in a summer
in a
deck.
summer deck, yeah. But
That's why I like it in summer.
Lay Siege. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I thought Lay Siege was gonna be like the card that would solve the location problem meta, and it really hasn't. Like it's,
Worse nightmares.
it's just the worst nightmares. Like
Wait, what was your second card, Ryan?
I forgot. I was hoping you wouldn't come back to it.
But speaking
you said
of that,
Big Mel.
we
Well, you
need-
haven't said an underwhelming card, so there's got to be at least one underwhelming.
Ghost of Harrenhal, and
Now that's
I was really
controversial.
hot on it. I was really hot on it for a while around Thrones War, and ever since I've been getting really bad value out of it. I don't like the gold.
It was a hot plot for like a month. Like it really
Yeah.
was. And
I was
people
on the
were getting
train.
A lot of use out of it,
Well,
and then now, meh.
I think it helps. It helps, particularly in the early Valor meta. It gave you an easy answer to Valor. So while even really good players were figuring out how Valor works in second edition, it gave you an escape valve, right? So I can see why, as we figured out other playstyles around that reset, that we can chuck Ghost of Harrenhal. Although apparently, according to the Euros, look at that Euro Stark deck that was second in Blackwater. Its only answer to Valor was Ghost of Harrenhal.
Just Ghost.
So I don't know.
I don't think it's awful. It's just
Americans
I
suck
think
at this game. I
so
hear,
many people were so high on Ghosts, and it's come back to earth.
Yeah.
like a lot of things, kind of like this podcast. People were so high on it, then they came back to Earth and we didn't produce an episode for 6
Everyone
months.
listening now is realizing, oh right, it's just another podcast.
And we even brought Ryan on. like a real champion of a real tournament that Europeans play at. And as we learned,
hey.
only
You don't
Europeans are good at this.
Wait.
So.
You don't have to be a champion to get a champ card. I mean, I got a champ card.
It's true.
Ballard
You just have
Harris.
to bitch and moan enough.
And Alex Hines got a champ card without winning shit.
That's true.
So
he didn't win anything.
He won nothing.
It's true.
They gave him a playmat.
Yeah.
And a hammer.
I'm still bitter.
And a card design.
And a hammer.
I'm so bitter that they gave him a playmat. Well, I got the hammer too, but
you had to return the hammer. He still has the hammer.
what? You don't have to return the hammer.
I thought you had to return the hammer.
No, they give that to you
Oh, you keep
for
it?
keepsies, man.
Oh,
I think that's why they stopped doing it, because they realized, well, if we keep buying hammers every year.
They don't have a hammer smith. Right?
Eventually, someone murders them with the hammer. With the hammer, and
hammer
FFG goes
budget.
out of business. All right, more questions. What do we got?
What do we got?
Oh, when is Gen Con? August 18th, Buzz. And
Aaron
is
will
it-
be in
there-
Nicaragua, right?
Colombia, dick. And assume there will be no streaming. There will probably be no streaming because everyone's
There
going to
never
be
is.
watching L5R.
But Rob St. John will probably record, and as long as who knows? Seth records games in the cut now, so it's highly likely at the very least, at least cut matches will eventually be on Rob's YouTube channel.
Well, is there a card design for Gen Con this year?
Yes.
So we're sure Seth can't win then, right? Because that still hasn't changed.
I mean, look, if Seth is in the final, there will be a video of it this year that isn't just Chris Schoenthal when he's having a bad day, when he puts in the DVD player and presses play.
Are we sure, though? Seth has won
with
now.
with his with Schoenthal's
He's going
pants
back
around
to his old
ankles.
ways.
Maybe he might. Well, it's true. He did troll recently. So.
He won. He got that confidence back.
Yeah.
Did anyone
And
read
now
that? Because I
back
just
to
looked at it and
stuff.
went, "Oh, it's Seth being Seth," and then saw 200 replies and went, "Wow, people are still dumb, huh?"
Yeah, but
To be fair-
Seth had changed his stripes for a good 4 or 5 months, and now he's
No,
like,
he
won.
didn't.
He
It
did-
wasn't.
Maybe he just convinced us.
It wasn't major tournament season, Dick. It's like we're right around Gen Con and Worlds. Of course, Seth is being Seth. He only ever turns up to be a dick at this time.
In his own words, he won a really big regional. national. It's a 50-person tournament. That's a big regional.
Yeah, big regional.
There was no card design on the line, so
But he doesn't have a
won
buy a
big
Gen Con.
regional.
He's gonna be the only person with a buy a Gen Con.
It's
which
true.
is-
There's
That's
only
pretty
one.
cool.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's
Wait,
definitely
Canadian Nationals doesn't get a buy?
I don't.
So-
Canadian Nationals is after Gen Con this year. I think.
Oh, wait.
Because I've been watching.
So-
It's probably gonna be in Toronto, which works really well for any vacation plans that I want to do.
So Corey should just give Ryan his extra. Sorry, not Ryan. Should just give Seth his extra card design. He'd just be like, "Hey, buddy, love you."
To be fair, they both half won it.
I watched that
Yeah.
Seth
game.
did give the win
Corey
to him.
tried
so
really hard to give that card design to Seth, and it just didn't work out.
He wanted
So-
to, but
I mean, that should be Buzz's card design, but that's fine.
It should be Buzz's card, and we should all have those 4 hours of our lives back.
That's right. That's right. To be fair, Ryan, FFG was really nice. They let me give you a beer. Like, they
Were you the
closed
fourth person at
down
that table?
the bar, and
Yeah.
I was like, look,
Jones
have
was
you
there, yeah.
seen what Ryan? He's played like 26 hours of Thrones in a row. Will you let me give him one beer? And they're like, all right, he can get a
Huh.
beer.
More hungover than I've ever been that day. That night was so good the night before, and then that morning I almost threw up on the table a couple times. And my first table was Eric and Seth and Simone, and I was like, "Can I just drop? Like, is that?"
Yeah, but-
can this
but-
Did
happen?
you win that table?
No, I got fourth with zero power.
But who
Still
who
made it
did
to the
win
final
the
table,
table?
though.
I'm assuming Seth.
Yeah, I think Seth won it.
So usually, like, if a bunch of DC people are at the table, Simone can't win.
Yeah.
That's the rule. Because they hate him more than everyone else.
that was debilitating. But then I won my next two, and then lied my ass through the top 16. Best melee game I've ever played. I threatened to incinerate all game long and didn't have a single one.
Now that's
got
that's
you all
competitive
right
melee
where
at
I
its
want
best.
you.
There were two of those Hyper Euron DC decks at the same table fighting each other, and I told both of them the first one of you that puts Euron in a challenge gets this incinerate, and they didn't have Euron do a single challenge the entire game.
Wow.
I didn't have it.
I actually think that top 16 was one of the best Melee top 16s ever, because that was also the table where Tommy and Simone were at the same table, and Simone was trying to convince. He's like, "Look, Tommy, if we double Valor, these other two guys lose, and then one of us can win." Like, and Simone was not lying, like, at all. Like, I could see Simone's hand. He didn't have any tricks. He was just like, "Look, if we both double Valor, the other two people lose. It's highly likely you're gonna win. I don't have any good cards in my hand." And Tommy didn't believe him. He's like, "You're lying, Steve. You're lying, Steve. You're trying to talk me in to making the wrong play." And so Tommy does a Valor, and Steve wins because they didn't double Valor. If he had literally listened to what Steve was telling him, he would have won. Tommy probably would have won based on Tommy's hand. So I enjoyed watching that top 16. I had to leave for a while at the final table. That went on forever, but.
My parents were watching at home.
Oh my god, your poor parents.
Horrible.
With my wife. My wife was trying to interpret what was going on. She was like, he's got a couple power on his house. I don't really know what's going on right now. Are they taking a bathroom break? They're taking a bathroom break.
Also, like, the way FFG shoots Melee when they stream it is so bad. Like, it's just so boring. And Corey's doing his best impression of the main character from the first season of Mr. Robot, where he's like hunched over and you can't see who he is. And it's just like, why is this being recorded? And Seth looks like he's gonna die. You look like you're gonna die. Buzz, I don't know. He looks like Buzz always looks.
Buzz just had like a Swedish
very
flag
angry.
draped over him or something, and then just
he was rocking the Swedish flag.
Getting angrier the longer it went.
And then like Will was like falling asleep while giving the commentary. It was just like not the finest moment. Not the finest moment.
Low light of my entire life, not just Thrones.
Well, you've been on Second Sons twice now, Ryan. Those aren't really the low lights.
That's second to last and third to last.
So there we go.
All right.
Do we have any more questions in chat?
Yeah. When Gen Con safe to swim the ruin of streaming? When Wadmander, when Ryan's champ card comes out, how many decks drop confiscation for something like political disaster? The ones that aren't running a lot of locations do.
Yeah. Lanny.
Phil Lannister.
And
I think Lanny.
Maybe
it should just be a Lanny card, honestly. Like
Tyrell can do it too.
Tyrell doesn't want to. Stark
Needs its economy, though. It doesn't want to blow it up with.
Just keep your two great halls.
Yeah, exactly. That's all.
That means cut Winterfell. Winterfell's really good against it.
I don't think Winterfell's really good in this meta.
Fuck Winterfell.
Yeah.
All right. Excluding just saying fuck Winterfell because you don't like the card. Like, it shores up a lot of Stark's problems. Like,
it does. It's the only thing they have going for him. I just don't like it. I don't like Stark, and I don't like Winterfell.
Yeah, I think
whatever.
Stark is for stupid people.
Love you too, Aaron.
What it just is.
Roy, you can't help who drafts you. Like,
I played. The problem is, I played Stark before that. I told Chris to get Martell.
Okay.
Though. Like when he was like, Roy, there was 3 factions left. He's like, what faction should I get? I was like, try to get Martell. I was like, because 1, it will screw Johnny over. 2,
Johnny would have bid $1 million. Why does no one ever do that? Like, just keep bidding on Martell and like.
No, people forget Johnny wanted Tyrell. He and I were in a bidding war. He wanted Tyrell. Martell was the second choice.
And then he won.
And then he won the team competition
Chris
with Martell.
Thompson carried him. Let's be honest here.
For real, Thompson did. I mean, he was able to spend
like 5 people make
on
their
Martell.
There's no point in trolling Johnny right now. He's asleep. It's like it's way past his bedtime.
Because Ryan will tell him, or Chris will listen to this tomorrow. Like, I don't know, while people are screaming for their Funko toys tomorrow, and Chris needs to put some music in or something to just the noise of San Diego. He'll listen to this and be like, hey, Johnny, you should listen to this episode.
Johnny will tap in. He'll find a way.
He'll find
finds a way.
So.
Hey. All right.
Any other questions? Wait, does Buzz have another one? Oh, okay. Buzz does have another question, and Ryan will like this question. Should they ban Haunted Forest or ban Craven instead?
Haunted Forest.
Yes.
Just restrict them both.
No,
Craven's both. Yeah.
They could restrict it.
And then you get one.
Restrict the Wall, Craven, and Haunted Forest.
I want all 3. I would put all 3 on.
Really? I don't think Craven. You killed Craven with your card. Okay. It's fine. Don't stress it. Breathe, buddy. Breathe, buddy. You got it.
Minimum Haunted Forest and Wall. You don't even need anything else for a restricted list. There's your restricted list. Do it now.
I also want Marched on the restricted list because just Marched alone. because like if nothing else major is on it, all that means is you can't run 2 marched.
Oh, I don't want to take away double march decks.
Wait,
No.
if you restrict a plot, can't you use whatever it is? It's however many cards.
Yeah,
you
you can
use.
still.
Oh,
You can still have
really?
two
Double
copies.
march?
Yeah, for sure.
Then
Here's what you do. First thing, you restrict the Lannister faction card
Ooh.
and the Eerie.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Only until my champ card comes out. Then who cares about the Eerie? Eerie goes away.
That's true.
My champ.
Well, the thing is about the restriction card, it's written in smoke. You can change it whenever you want. So.
The thing about the restricted list is we've been making it up since like the second chapter pack of the
they're
game.
not doing it. FFG's not doing it, and when they do,
They don't-
it'll be too late.
FFG doesn't
Come
know
on,
this
guys.
game exists. They printed new tournament
Right.
rules that had
Here's what will
2
happen.
changes
So-
of like a word
Those are the
each.
worst. They trolled it. That was a troll, right? It had to feel like a troll
Yeah.
post. Like,
I
there's-
got really excited.
Were you were playing in the early LCG?
Yeah, after the second cycle.
So the impression I get from the way the restricted list developed was there's the ban list, and then Nate didn't like having a banned list, so he created the restricted list, which is initially only broken combos. But then there was this design creep of using it to control the meta over time, right? Is that the way the restricted list worked?
No, it was on purpose when it decided to control the meta. Like it was a tiny restricted list of just broken combos, and then like one time it came out and it was like 5 times the size of the previous ones.
Right,
that
but
was
that's
late in the
design
game
creep.
too.
Like it.
No, the idea.
It did kind of explode. It exploded all
I'm
at once. Yeah.
80% sure that was Corey's idea.
What, Corey Farrell?
But like, yeah, I'm almost certain that was Corey's idea. Like I have no inside like info for that. It just sounds exactly like Corey's idea, and he's a whisperer. So I'm blaming Corey
The
for
LCG
something
model. LCG model makes everything move too slow, in my opinion.
I agree.
The restricted list is a great way to keep the competitive scene different and interesting.
I agree. I'm
I also
100% on board.
I mean,
We need it, FFG. Are you listening?
I mean, if FFG actually can go, if FFG can go 2 years where every single month they release cards, then using the restricted list to accelerate card, releases kind of thing. But if we get a card gap again, we should have a restricted list.
We got a really good question.
What's it?
Which limit 1 plot should be 2, and which 2 of plot should be limit 1? I have my answer.
Duel should be 2.
Duel should be 2, counting
yeah.
should be 1.
Okay, let's exclude duel
Ooh,
because do all
counting
4 of us
one?
agree that duel
Counting
should
should
be
be
limit
one.
2?
But that hurts jumpers. No.
Yeah, but like it still should be 1. Like, because I feel like once the game gets enough economy, every deck just starts running like either 2 march or 2 counting and shrugs, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Aren't we already there with the comment?
yeah. I mean, basically,
It happened, didn't
almost. We're almost there, but like,
Once the
So
other
that-
houses get their
yeah,
2
exactly.
gold, yeah.
But at that point, you just start running like 2 counting, and I do like 2 march. I was just teasing with that, so I think counting should probably be limit 1, and duel 100%.
Oh, duel should easily
100%
be
needs to be 2. And honestly, duel should probably have like 1 more gold or 1 more claim.
Oh, I know which one. Limit 1 should be annals.
Claim? You say claim? Ugh.
I think duel
Annals?
is
You
2
can play
claim
2
would
of
be
Annals? I
amazing.
didn't even know.
Duel
it's-
2 claim.
No, no,
If
no,
it's
no,
limit
no, no,
1,
no,
it
no.
duel should be 2 claim.
Duel should be
Duel 2 claim? Come
5
on.
gold.
You know how duel is terrible right now?
Yes.
If duel had 2 claim, you would seriously consider it. It would change the game. It would be champ card good. It would be as good as Ryan's champ card, almost as good as my champ card.
My champ card.
It would be just because it would be one of the best 2 claim plots in the game, just stat wise, and
Yeah.
you wouldn't even care about its win reveal.
But the one revealed would also be cool, and it would affect deck building, and
Yeah.
it would be cool. Oh, I like that idea.
4 gold 2 claimer is just like that's the top of the 2 claim plots right now, anyways.
Suggestion that fortified should be 2. I don't really think so. I don't think fortified is very good.
Nah, I think it's
But I think 4 to 5 would be better if it was 2. I think
I
the
don't
problem
think
with some
when-
of those 2 turns of blanking every single character is very
If,
powerful.
if I could change anything about fortified, it would be its reserve.
It's at 5, right?
Yeah, I don't like it at 5. If 4 to 5 is 6, I'm starting to consider run it more as a
Yeah,
one-off.
I mean, there's a problem. I think some of the core set cards were only designed for the core set meta. Like, they didn't design for how, when the card pool expands, having some of those tools would be
Yeah.
available. So, like, I think Come Over Westeros would be pretty interesting. I think as a two of over time. Like, I understand why it was limited 1 in the core set. You didn't want like kind of soft stall, but like, the ability to have that kind of in your deck. Oh, Winter Festival should definitely be 1X.
Oh yeah, God,
absolutely.
jeez. Passive power is I mean, it's not as much of a problem as it was, but I think it's still a minor problem. And
Hey,
it's a problem.
Heads on spikes shouldn't have been printed.
I agree. It was a bad design decision.
Don't like that card's existence. So
variance.
Keno says WWW should be limit 1, but I have no fucking idea what plot that is.
Wheels within wheels.
Oh, okay.
The
card that's not even out yet, but it's about to come out. Yeah.
I mean,
Is
we'll
that
see.
not
A summons for events is very powerful, but we'll see. Could easily be on our list of.
Well, because you can go
underwhelming plots.
wheels into annals and play all those events you discarded, right?
That's what.
Right. That's kind of cool.
It's the cards that's designed to push those when you win a challenge, pay 1 gold, right? Nate and Danny love those kind of plots, right? The plot that says this is the theme of the cycle, so we're gonna print a plot that pushes that, right? Remember that prized one where you, was it double the prized claim at the end? I forget what it was.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that. Like they love those kind of plots, and this is basically saying run those discard events that you can recycle. Because you can search for the one you need, chuck the ones you don't, and when you do need them, you can get it back for a gold.
I like that.
That could be abused.
That's called supporting a theme.
So.
All right, I'm actually looking at plots because I like this question.
That's a great question. So who asked it?
I don't know. I'm not in that window. I'm looking at plots.
Sid, can you tell me who it was?
Luis Bretas.
Luis, not only do you have a card design, my friend, but you also have the first annual Second Sons No Prize for best question asked in our chat. So you have a card design and an even better prize of a non-existent prize from this.
I mean, because you don't have to win anything to get a card design.
Well, you
Apparently
just
not
if you
anymore.
want to install it, all right, which is a real tournament.
No, I'm not saying he didn't.
He's talking about himself.
and Alex Hines.
You have a card design the same way Simone has a card design. You looked at something someone else made and said, "I like that a lot."
I'll take it.
Except he actually had to win a tournament.
Wait, no, he didn't.
Oh, did he overall?
Yeah, he overall.
Okay.
Simone didn't win shit.
Neither of you won a
Second,
tournament.
right?
Exactly.
There's
You both pointed.
I didn't even have
He
to
got
make.
second.
No, Simone got his for North American, right?
Oh, so
Yeah.
it must have been Gen
But he didn't
Con.
win.
Beat him in Gen
Are-
Con.
He
are
didn't
we-
win Gen Con. Or did he win Gen Con?
Have we ever told the design story of the Palomar itself on the podcast, or are we not allowed to?
I think we
You guys
did
can't
back.
see my head,
came
but
out.
my head is vigorously shaking no. We cannot tell.
Oh,
the
okay.
process.
So, all right, so we can't tell that on the podcast. One day I'll be drunk and I'll just tell the story and get in trouble.
Perfect.
So what that means is come to New York tournaments, which are the only tournaments that Aaron goes to. So
Oh yeah, that's not true.
he'll tell you the story.
Ooh, Tourney for the King gets better with the mayor too.
The rush plot?
Yeah.
All right.
Just because lower. Nah, I
Yeah, a
guess
bunch
not.
of cheap ass little knights, and you're just like, fuck you.
For snow.
What other?
Yeah.
Is there? What I'm more interested in is there more 2x plots that people consistently run 2x that should be 1x. I mean, March is the obvious example.
There's only like 3 or 4 plots that people run 2 times, right? Like it's not like that's a
Not very
common
many.
thing.
Winter Festival.
Hey, you know what I thought was terrible? Way back question. I thought was terrible, but it's actually awesome. I don't even know when it came out because I ignored it. Battle of Blackwater is really good.
In certain decks, but you don't see it very often.
Yeah, it's not like amazing, but it's good.
It's nice to shed dupes, that's for sure.
I haven't seen
It's
early
dupes on
Frost,
locations, people. Don't forget.
It
Yeah,
does.
I haven't seen early Frost, and I thought that was gonna be everywhere.
I thought that was going to be the new Fear winner.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, me
And
too.
no one's playing it.
No one, ever.
Someone should try that because it might be good.
the problem is Winter's synergy kind of sucks right now.
Yeah.
Like I think
Pause a little bit.
and the question is, there's like the way in which Get Ahead works in second edition isn't the same as in first edition. At least in my like as someone who played a lot of Get Ahead decks in first edition, like the board states are more dynamic when you're ahead, I guess. That just denying them a single card doesn't do what it would have done in first edition, or like the way Fear of Winter did, or ways the ways in which like rule by decree could just screw someone over if you're ahead.
I want Naval to be a 2-time per plot deck.
Ooh, That'd be interesting.
That'd be awesome.
But it's not a great.
I mean, like
plot
if Naval
right
was
now.
in the first cycle, I could totally see that. But the fact that they put it in the core set was like where every plot was like you had to run there was no skill if you could run 2 of them. Right?
Why is Ranger's cash limit 1 per plot deck?
That's a great question. Who knows why?
Counting fucking coppers is 50 times better.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Excuse me, they overvalued economy. Right, the extra 2 gold.
I don't know. They just overvalued that card, and it shouldn't have been limit 1.
I think it should have had higher.
It doesn't even see play.
Should have had higher initiative.
It should just be a better card. It saw a tiny bit of play, and then just got people realized, oh, there's better options. Get rid of it.
Well, in fairness, Whisper campaign.
Actually, by the way, we
also
reviewed that card in the second episode of Second Sons.
Did we?
We did. You, me, Darknaj, and Aaron.
Yeah, Whisper campaign.
We did the whole box in one go.
Ooh. If I could change one thing, I think, of any plot, it would be increasing the reserve on Wraiths.
It does hurt.
If Wraiths had a 6, Wraiths is a
4.
Wraiths is a 5.
Oh, it's
a 5.
If it were 6 or 7, I would.
But in a winner deck,
okay,
it's
Aaron,
4.
You want a 7 reserve plot that reduces your opponent's reserve by 2?
Yeah.
That's a fair card. That's an awesome card.
Yeah.
You should have 0 gold then.
No.
I hate Wraiths.
Yeah,
why
is Whisper campaign limit 1 per plot deck?
Because, well, 1, it sucks. That's it should be limit 0 per plot deck.
Well, it is in practice. But, why
there
is that, what was the thought process? I don't get it.
It did create that horrible thread in the 2.0 Facebook group, right, because that's the printed, right? When does Shadow Tower Mason get its intrigue icon if you have 3 or more Night's Watch locations or attachments, right? Because Whisper campaign is if a character doesn't have an intrigue icon, nail it, right?
Nail it when it comes into play.
Right, yeah. When does he get it? When does he get it? No.
When does he get it?
I don't know.
No one knows.
No one knows. Danny
no
knows.
One cares. The answer is no one cares.
We should just play it the way in which you think it does, which is as a constant effect, the Shadow Tower Mason always has the intrigue icon. But
I'm gonna play it whichever way helps me at the time.
So when you're playing these wall decks that you don't play, then
yeah.
He's up. He's totally not.
He's totally there.
Down. But when I'm playing Lannister, he's kneeling. He's sitting down.
Dude, there's plots that I didn't even know existed. Where the fuck did where did gossip and lies come from?
Ladybugs?
Is that the one that doesn't synergize with Reigns?
Yeah, it's the one that's made for Reigns that doesn't work with Reigns.
Doesn't work with
Yeah.
I'm happy a Game of Thrones is limit 1.
Kind of like I feel like the new one, right? The Red Wedding that is a scheme but doesn't work with Reigns.
Well, it does. It's better than Whisper Campaign.
But it doesn't work the way you'd hope it to work.
I'm kind of happy about that.
Broken way? I'm sorry.
That's not broken. You just get a kill.
Oh,
you're wrong.
You're totally wrong. Come on, Sid. That's some shit talk. That's literally full of shit. Shit. We can't actually see you because there's just a little circle thing turning there. But shit should be pouring out of your mouth right now.
Yeah. Right. For a while, famine probably should have been limit 1.
Oh, I don't know. I think famine's okay.
That's a meta thing.
I mean, we live with Dan Struhall, and it's like
to deal with getting first node and then double famined.
Yeah, and then you sit there like, oh.
Or getting marched and then double famined was also pretty brutal. All right, we're just literally listing plots at this point. So does anyone have any thoughts?
Next question.
It's almost
Let's put a
midnight
bow
here
on
the East Coast. I've got to go to. Unlike the other 2 teachers here, I'm teaching summer school, so I have to go to work.
I work tomorrow. Just I'm not teaching. I'm doing curriculum.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
But that's a flexible schedule, Aaron. You don't actually have to be somewhere at 8:30 in the morning.
No, I have to be there at 8. If I'm not there at 8.
You guys are actually back on campus?
Yeah, we're doing curriculum on campus for pay. I have to be there at 8 in the morning.
Okay.
But you're not lesson planning. No problem.
No, I'm not lesson planning.
Okay. Well, I have to go teach students about the nature of government and freedom tomorrow at 9 a.m. So, exciting.
I mean,
stuff.
They live in America. Those things don't interrelate at all anymore.
Well, that's what we're talking about, Aaron. Anyway.
Do you just say womp womp at them a lot? Like womp womp. You were born at the wrong time.
Because spoiler alert, You were all born at the wrong time. But anyway, on that happy and positive note, does anyone have any final thoughts that they want to add before the episode begins? Or ends? Begins.
We're just starting? That was the intro.
Time is a flat circle, Sid. Time is a flat circle.
This is what I've heard.
I'll just say thanks for having me on.
Always.
It was a good time.
Hey,
Glad to be back.
we did you a pretty good solid, right? Letting you be on there, talk about your card. You know,
I need platforms.
The second best champ card that is going to come out in the next few months after mine, but still better than Barrett.
Hey, whoa! We still have Jakob's broken card. Come on.
Yeah, I think that.
Particularly since this guy pushed Milk out of the meta. Like, what do you do against that nonsense?
Venomous Blade.
Yeah. But once they milk him or nightmares him, you can just bounce him back with Iron Throne or Iron Bank, and you'll be good.
Which is why Iron Bank is better.
Yeah.
Right,
I really like that Jakob and I have a.
You can have a beard off too. Next time you guys are both at Worlds, you should just have a beard off as well. You should have your cards in your beard. Like, who can insert their champ card further in their beard without people seeing the card?
Roy, how about at Stolic this year?
There you go, Stolic. That's right. You're gonna be at Stolic. You and Schoenthal, right? So you gotta take a picture of that, please. Take a picture
and
of
Johnny.
Half of San Diego's going.
None of us are going. Yeah.
Johnny has his deck. I'm like, that's not possible. We don't even know what's coming. And he's like, I know what I'm playing. It's like, all right.
Did he already say that? He needs to tell me then. I need to know.
But here's the thing, though. I will actually say this, and I think I said this on a White Book episode, which is, if any American's going to win Stolic, Ryan, my heart is with you. I think you can do it. I think you can show these Europeans that America rocks.
Only if they collude.
I've got a good record against Europeans at Worlds.
Didn't Alvaro
lost to an Italian in the top 4, but other than that, I'm pretty much undefeated. I think.
Didn't Alvaro beat you too?
No, I haven't played Alvaro in Joust.
Well, Alvaro doesn't play anymore, so.
Oh no,
I never got a game against Alvaro.
That's one guy out. All right. Well, I want to thank Ryan for joining us. Sid, do you have any final thoughts?
Just thank you to all the people who stuck around this long and are still in the chat. This was a blast. I'm glad we're back. Excited.
As am I. Glazer?
Yeah, play my champ card.
I want to apologize to you for the shitty technical side compared to the amazingness that is Buzz. Buzz was trying to give me some
Wait, time out. No. Buzz should be apologizing because he was awake and talked in the chat for the whole fucking cast.
That's right.
He could have been on air.
He's still there. I think he's still there.
He was trying to give me tech advice through the episode, but I don't want to be on the episode while also trying to massively change the overlay. So I apologize that, as it says on top here, the production values have not improved for our second season. But hopefully our release rate will, because the goal, again, is to do this every 2 weeks going forward. We won't, sadly, have Ryan every 2 weeks, but we should have Schoenthal back. He's, again, making sure that angry nerds have their Funko figures is what he's doing this week. So he's too busy to join us. But
Why you gotta hate on Schoenthal?
I'm not hating on him. I'm actually hating on Comic-Con there, to be honest. Like, Schoenthal is doing the hard work of making sure people have their Funko figures. That's not shade at him. So that means the week of the 31st of July to sometime between the 31st and August 5th, we will have another episode. We're going to be flexible. We're going to have guests. Sandy will be on an episode. It should be really a fun shit show of a show that you've come to enjoy. I think that's basically it, unless literally someone's going to add something at the last second.
Yeah. And, in a couple weeks, White Book number 300.
That is true. White Book
awesome.
300.
Will is fucking insane.
Will's a nutso guy, and he let Aaron and I on his show, which is the #1 proof that he's crazy. But
no,
we actually,
editing like 270 of those motherfuckers.
Yeah, 270. Just the last 30, he is definitely not. Which is weird recording White Book episodes, because I never remember what's the last White Book episode I recorded. Yeah. So anyway, congratulations to Will for episode 300. He has some awesome stuff planned.
That's awesome.
You should definitely listen to episode 300 if you don't listen to the White Book regularly. And on that positive note, I am going to end the episode.
Close it.
Bye, everybody.
And thus closes your ass.
that you're willing to pay. You cry in your tea, which you hurl in the sea when you see me go by. Why so sad? Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. Now you're making me mad. Remember, despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You'll be back, soon you'll see. You remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. Da 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 da. You say our love is draining and you can't go on. You'll be the one complaining when I am gone. And no, don't change the subject, 'cause you're my favorite subject. My sweet, submissive subject. My loyal, royal subject. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. You'll be back like before. I will fight the fight and win the war. For your love, for your praise. And I'll love you till my dying days. When you're gone, I'll go mad. So don't throw away this thing we had. 'Cause when push comes to shove, I will kill your friends and family to remind you of my love. Da 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 da.